I've hit the record button.
We are recording.
We are recording.
It's being recorded. This is on the record. I'm not going to be...
You're going to be fucking audible. Out of everyone here, you're going to be audible.
You're talking directly into the microphone.
I guess that's fair.
You're not only talking directly into the microphone, but you're also the loudest out of any of us.
Well, yes, but also we exist in an echo chamber where, like, when I talk, I sound like I'm in a fridge.
This is the most, like, sound, proofed area.
I don't know about that.
In the house.
Bree's like, you're all in a bubble.
Yeah, we exist in a fucking fridge, dog. I'm just, so you were laughing, you're setting the thing off.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Bree, you talk loud. I simply laugh loud.
That's fair.
Live, laugh, love.
So if I'm really trying to kind of pull back and not be insanely loud, can everyone hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
Can you hear that I have a conspiracy theory?
It'll be fine, Bree.
Okay.
As someone who is the one that edits the audio for the podcast, it'll be fine.
Figuring out no one can hear what I'm saying. It's going to be a real big problem because no one's going to understand my contribution to the project. Hi, everybody. I'm trying to put on my voice today.
I don't know where we go from
here.
Where
do we go?
Where we go now?
Like it's been forever since I cramped with you, sweetie.
I mean, it has been.
Back home.
It's been a couple of extra weeks. There's been a lot of delays in our episodes lately due to various happenings, such as people moving and also animals getting ill for brief moments. So, it happens. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, it's not like we get paid to do this or anything, so who fucking cares?
If you want to pay us to be more consistent, you want to go down to...
We don't have Patreon.
Okay, go to my Twitch channel, go to Easy Breezy TV and hit exclamation point.
I have been thinking about resetting up the Wife City Patreon to somehow be focused around the podcast instead.
We really changed format.
We sure did.
We used to be a Let's Play channel, and then we streamed games, and now we do this.
If you would like to give us money,
let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments, send an email, do something.
Something will happen there. We don't know what, but something will happen there.
What reviews connected by cast or crew, deciding the next film, that's the gist. Put it on the list.
I almost clapped.
We're not used to it.
I saw you getting ready for it. You're like, okay, now's lock in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Put It On The List, the movie club where every couple of weeks we gather together to discuss movies picked by one of us. The next time around, the next person in the rotation connects a movie by either cast or crew. First person in the rotation, introduce yourself.
That's Bridget.
That's you, Bridget.
That's you.
We're looking at you. Just
Look who decided to come to dinner.
I hope you're ready for an unforgettable podcast.
I hope you're ready for an unforgivable luncheon.
I could hear Bisky, scratching at the door to get in up there.
Oh, she's missing out.
She is, but also she has fleas, so she cannot partake of the carpeted area right now.
She will not do that.
Neither of the fifth podcast hosts are here because they have fleas.
Yes.
They continue to be entombed in a bedroom.
So we're going to have to put off the Ziggy moment for a couple of episodes. We apologize. We know it's why you all come here, but, we gotta... we gotta make sure that we're okay.
Bridget, did you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Bridget. You might know me from Twitch or the Greatest Movie Ever podcast or Put It On The List podcast.
That's right. That is so right. Second person in the rotation. Third person.
Hey, you beautiful bitches. I'm Bree.
And I'm Jake.
Just like my grandmother?
What? Hold on. This sounds like a Bridget story. What do you have to share with us, Bridget?
Well, you see, my grandmother wrote sex novels, And so...
How have we not heard this?
I feel like she has.
I do think she has told us this before.
That's incredible.
It might be one of those ones that she's disclosed with us, but you've maybe not been in the room for.
Maybe.
And I always remember one line from one of her novels was, "Kiss me, you big, beautiful bitch."
I think that's why I
Awesome.
definitely know you've
Great.
told us about that, is because you have recounted that. You big, beautiful bitch. It's me when I'm talking about my girlfriends. But anyways, last time on Put It On The List, Bridget had us watch through, let's call it the mildly contentious Kizumonogatari Koyomi Vamp. And Evie, you connected us over to Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings.
That's right.
And God, what a fucking movie.
That's a movie.
This was a journey for me.
Yeah, I mean, do we want...
Isn't
I
that
don't
The
want to
Hobbit?
just...
Yeah,
there and back
No, but
again.
we have a format. Let's.
I
We'll
guess
talk
that's
about it when
fair.
we start. I have things to say when we start off, but let's
For
do our
sure.
usual.
I mean, what has everyone been up to lately? I feel like I don't have much to talk about, honestly.
Well, we could say one thing where it was a big movie watching day for us yesterday, where we watched Fellowship of the Ring together.
Yep.
And then Jay and we went to go see
Hard-boiled.
in a theater.
And I've seen Hard-boiled before, and I've seen it fairly recently for the first time. Seeing it again in theaters, I forget how fucking good that movie is. It's... The way I described it is, it is the cinematic experience where, you are just in the seat, glued to the screen the entire time. That first, the first, shootout scene, in the little, bird cafe or whatever, and, the first time you get, the moment of, bullet acrobatics going on, and Chow Yun Fat is sliding down the rails.
staircase, the handrail of the staircase, and shooting at someone. Just everyone clapped. It was just it was so good.
It's beautiful. It is a level of poetic action that I don't like talking about it because I do not feel like words do it justice. That is how much of an experiential thing Hard-boiled is.
It truly it's conveying. It is truly sound and images moving in real time, conveying emotions in a way that you can't really do it justice without
showing
without
someone
being a
clip.
movie. Yeah.
It's the reason why I was talking to you about The Killer, which is the movie that John Woo did right before Hard-boiled. That, I kind of almost like that movie a little bit more because that one is fully drenched in that particular thing that you're talking about, where it is all just sounds and image and action serving to just pull the emotion out of every single scene. And Hard-boiled is a little bit more of a crowd pleaser versus The Killer, but it still has that same vibe to it. John Woo in his heyday was truly on another level in terms of what he put out there into the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a great experience. The hospital scene, the first time they're lowering the babies out of the window, and half of the movie theater had not seen Hard-boiled before, so the first time that a baby is in danger, we audibly heard 10 people in the audience be no! It was awesome.
Yeah.
Phenomenal
Don't drop that
experience. Yeah. But yeah, yesterday was a good ass day for movies for us. But yeah, that's kind of the only thing recently aside from fucking pets having fleas and just destroying our sleep schedules.
Yeah.
It's been rough.
Yeah. But we're trying to get them on the upswing as best we can on that front. Anything you want to talk about in particular, Bree?
For me, it's been just kind of slogging through a couple of art commissions and trying to stream. I've been really bad with my, especially because of the sleep issues, just my emotional state and my control on my executive functioning. So I started taking smart pills made by my natural medicine friend, and hopefully that'll help. It seems to be getting rid of that wall that was standing in my face.
We are now entering the Bree gets hooked on nootropics arc of the podcast. I hope everyone is excited for that. Bridget looks very befuddled by this. Is something wrong, sweetie? Bridget?
No, it's just,
Oh, is there a puppy down there you're trying to wrangle?
Oh,
yep,
there's
that's
a puppy.
what's happening. Okay. Well, Bridget, have you been up to anything that you want to talk about in particular?
Oh, well, for one, we finished up a few anime. Panty and Stocking, The Day Hikaru Died. We're watching Santa.
We got deep into Santa. We
Oh,
watched
yeah.
3 episodes in a row.
Santa is unreal. I think after we record this, we should get Bree caught up on that show.
That's a good
I
idea.
agree.
But, like, fuck. That means we can't talk about it in great detail because it's the kind of thing where, like, Bree needs to see the shit.
Next time on this
buff
podcast.
old men? Do you like gay?
Do you like gay?
Do you
like gay?
Do you like an exploration of, like, the ways that children are weaponized by, like, adult society?
And just, like, not treated like people.
Yeah. Like, it, because if you do, then I got news for you. Santa is a phenomenal show to watch in those respects. I mean, we've except for Bree, although Bree, you should get into it. The 3 of us have started getting deep into Straftat.
All on the floor.
That-
Give me some more.
That game is fucking amazing. So to describe it, who wants to describe what Straftat is?
Straftat is a
Straftat.
free-to-play... It started as just like a 1v1 shooter, but it's branched out in different ways to like 1v1v1 and 2v2 and shit like that. Or it is just like... It is like, what if a GoldenEye type game, or like a... It's like a GoldenEye or like a Counter-Strike. If it was just like, they reduced it down to just like a delicious roux. The beating heart of that kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was made out of just like weird post-Soviet surplus items.
Yeah.
That really does sound up my alley, because like I haven't gotten to enjoy a good arena shooter in a very long time.
Like, it is fantastic in those regards because it's got like the speed and movement of something like a Quake or something like that, but like just throughout each individual arena there's like sometimes like 5 different weapons. Like it's a weird hodgepodge of like Quake movement, for people who know, like, the gun game in Gary's mod, where essentially you would just get dropped into maps and, like, as you did better on a map, you would get better guns to, like, fight other people with. Like, there's just all these different elements, and every match is so fucking quick.
So fast, and there's, like, there are literally hundreds of different maps.
Yeah.
And so, like, you're constantly just being thrown against, like, different shit. And, like, it's just like, all right, here's the new map, go. And then and within 5 minutes, you're on the next one.
Yeah.
Wow.
It goes from, like, traditional to, like, here's just an entire map that is filled with doors and also huge laser guns.
Yeah, here's a map that is, like, there's a giant chasm between the two sides, and on each side is a sniper rifle, and the two group, whoever is on each side, just goes at it that way.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you'll run into a situation where one of the people you are fighting is on the same side as you, so you are literally trying to like no scope directly in front of each other with sniper rifles. Like, it's so fun, and it's all quick and like non-committal enough that like it is kind of a perfect like hangout game to just chill out and play with people.
Yeah, it sounds like you're not dedicating a ton of time to it, but it's also like, you know, a little more casual.
Fun. So yeah, we've been getting into that. We booted up Left 4 Dead 2 for like a few sessions last week, and that game's still good.
Yep.
Left 4 Dead 2 is still really fucking fun.
Still a very good game.
Especially if you crank the difficulty down and you just kind of, you know, chill out in there. It's great.
If you crank the difficulty down and replace all the character models with anime girls.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Then that's it's a perfect
Kirby
video game.
Burger Health Pack.
Kirby Burger Health Pack.
Bidumima.
No, we cannot talk about either Kirby Burger Health Pack or Bidumima.
Okay.
There's no time.
Yesterday I played Sonic Unleashed.
You sure did.
Maybe my most cacophonous stream ever in terms of so there's a doorbell sound in Sonic Unleashed when you do a QTE. So whenever you did this, it would play Steamed Hams in its entirety. However, if you did another QTE, it just stacks on to it. So it just over and over again. So let's say you have a big fight. It is endless ham being done by Donkey Kong from Donkey Kong 64 and Minna with Hatsune Miku's voice.
A friend of the podcast, SK, described what was happening in the clip that you posted on Blue Sky as video game adjacent performance art. And, I can't disagree with that.
But yeah, other than that, watching Gnoisa, or whatever.
Nausea?
No, good nat.
Fun to play, hard to say. These are the games that you do today.
Did you see that they announced an anime adaptation of Needy Streamer Overdose, or whatever the name of that game is?
I burned out on that real quick.
It makes sense that you would burn out on that real quick.
Oh,
I also would.
Bree burning out on a game about burnout?
Yeah.
Yeah, who'd have guessed?
Who'da thunk it?
I'm watching My Reality, but with more chatters. I hate it.
Yeah. Alright. Well, if everyone has talked about, like, the particular things they want to talk about, we can...
It's Mailbag Day!
It sure is Mailbag Day. As far as I could see, I did not see any other emails having come in, but we did get some Blue Sky stuff, which, hey,
all right.
If you want to send us feedback, follow us on putitontheList.bsky.social. You can find us anywhere podcasts are sold. Find us on YouTube at Wife City Productions. Find us at putitontheList.neocities.org. Please share us with your friends. We're a good time. We hope you enjoy us. Doing my social media voice because I hate myself.
Yay, the heater finally turned off.
And then you can...
hopefully that didn't fuck up the sound too much.
We listen back and it's like, yeah, but...
I mean, it might be like that. There's a chance.
We never know.
What were you gonna say, Bridget?
I highly recommend you putting on our podcast and putting the volume up all the way in the subway. No headphones.
That's right.
Bother people with us.
That's right. Please do that.
Become a
Negative
nuisance.
association is the only thing anyone has anymore.
Become a public nuisance.
Yes.
Become ungovernable. Okay, so We got some feedback here. We got some stuff from Dusty, who says, I assume you watched the definitive version that is 9 hours long, not on YouTube anymore due to copyright strike, and is titled Lord of the Rings, but every time Sam takes a step towards Mordor, he says it'll be the furthest he's ever been.
Yeah, I thought about mentioning this when we were watching it the other day.
Uh-huh.
We were watching it yesterday, but yeah, that edit exists. And it's very funny.
Oh my god.
And Dusty also says, a Tumblr post suggested that Bugs Bunny, due to his trickster godlike persona, would be immune to the ring like Tom Bombadil is, and suggested him as an ideal candidate for ring bearer. How do you think this would go? Well, I mean, it's obvious. He would start to try and get to Mordor, but he would make a wrong turn.
A left turn at Albuquerque.
And he would end up in like Barcelona.
Or like Isengard.
Yeah.
Isengard.
It's this guy.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny meeting Saruman and just being like,
Get a load of this guy.
what's this guy's deal? Alright.
Magic spear.
Bugs Bunny getting spun around on the floor like Gandalf the Grey by Saruman.
How about I spin you around a little bit?
He's like
that?
popping and locking the entire time he's doing it.
And then we had a few from Owen as well. As always, thank you, Owen, for the feedback. Owen asks, which of you would have the greatest chance of resisting the corrupting influence of the ring? I'll tell you who I think has the highest chance of being corrupted by the ring. It's definitely Bree. 100% without a doubt in my mind.
Just like, yeah, why shouldn't I use this to assassinate government?
Exactly. Well, see, that's the thing. I'm sitting here, I'm like, no, I would be very responsible. I just put it on my hand and calmly kill all of the fascists. Make them eat each other.
Okay, but the actual question of who is the least likely to be corrupted by it, I think Bridget is a very innocent soul like Frodo, but I also think that she is too enamored with shenanigans.
She's a chaos
to not do something.
She could make everybody watch a really bad movie.
Yeah, so like
It would be like the case where I wouldn't give the ring to Sauron. However, it doesn't necessarily mean good will happen with it.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I think it's between me and Evie as to who would be the least likely to be corrupted by the ring.
I think, like, for me, it depends on whether or not do I know that the One Ring is the One Ring, right? Like, if it's just like a magic ring that helps me be invisible, then, like, I wouldn't know that it would be, like, a corrupting influence.
Well, I mean, I feel like in this hypothetical scenario, we are effectively, like, being put somewhere in the Fellowship, like, with Frodo, you know?
Do we need to bring our dumb stoner friends who insist on coming along, not understanding the gravity?
Bree, I have bad news. All four of us are the fucking hobbits.
They're all hobbits. We're all hobbit-coded.
None of us are Gandalf the Grey. None of us are Aragorn. We are all just fucking Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin.
They really are the every people.
Yeah.
I love that, though, because they stumble along with them. It's such the, like, these are my dumb friends hopping along with me, not getting the gravity of the situation.
We can't get lost in that part of the conversation, because I think that's, like, gonna, like... that it's going to take up so much of the talk about Fellowship.
That is fair.
The answer to the question is none of us. We would all be doomed.
Well, that was the punchline I was ultimately going to go to, is just like you're missing the point of the One Ring, is like it corrupts everyone. Yeah. Even someone viewed as like pure and holy as like the elves, like you see what happens to Galadriel at the end of it.
Oh god.
Okay. Now here's the real meat and potato questions that Owen provided for us.
Haters.
First one: fuck, marry, kill Gollum, the cave troll, and the Uruk-hai captain, Lurtz, which is the big guy who fucking kills Boromir with arrows. I mean, I gotta be honest. I think you fuck Urukai. Like, that dude's big.
Yeah.
Like, that. He seems like he is a fun lay.
Yeah.
At the very least.
He's got to be an absolute animal in bed.
I think you kill the cave troll. I say you marry the Urukai, and you fuck Gollum because I don't want to be around him for very long. But also, you can't kill him because he may yet play a part in the events to come. Twas pity was stayed your hand to keep him from being killed.
Here's the thing. I got it. Okay, here's what we do. We of course fuck the large bowman. We go ahead. We kill the cave troll guy, and then like with the other guy, we marry him. Marrying doesn't mean you have to fuck him or do anything really hyper romantic. Once you marry him, you can smash his head against a rock, and then you can kill him too.
Well, no, but like he was saying, he might play a part in the events to come.
Not if I had a chance to smash his head against a rock.
I'm
The
just gonna
first time she sees Gollum, it's just like, I'm beating that guy to death with rocks.
I'm just gonna say Gollum is the only one in that cast who has had extensive time in the breeding pits.
In the breeding pits.
But it's not the breeding pits that you think.
They're not the fuck pits. They're like the grubular.
I have trouble breathing. I'm dyslexic.
You
Plus
just
two, right?
take, Gollum's ovipositor.
He doesn't have one.
He's a fucking like
like a
human.
hobbit.
Yeah, he was a hobbit or a human or something
I
like
don't
that.
know
Like,
how the dark magic works.
What is he?
it's not a dark
mosquito?
magic, it's a corrupting influence. Like, it basically just brain broke him. He's still a
Still
human
a
or a hobbit.
little freak.
Yeah.
He's a human.
Okay. Now, here is where it gets interesting, because the math works out basically perfectly on this. Okay. So, 3 fucks, 3 marries, 3 kills, Sam, Merry, Pippin, Aragorn, Boromir, Legolas, Gimli, Gandalf. And Frodo. Sorry, I forgot.
The whole fellowship.
The whole fellowship. Okay. So, 1... I think there are some easy ones to get out there. You kill Boromir because he's gonna die anyways.
Of course.
You marry Aragorn for sure. Like I don't know. I feel like am I off base in saying that?
I don't know. Like, I feel like Aragorn, he's not marriage material to me.
What?
Like, he's a king, I guess.
Never mind. Okay.
I was gonna say, is he the handsome one?
Yes.
Oh, I'd marry the shit out of that guy.
Like, that's the thing. I think he is like marriage material, though.
Yeah, I guess he is just like.
Yeah.
He is like the most marriage material.
Yeah, like he is like it's kind of like our friend Sundry was saying, like, while we were talking about Lord of the Rings beforehand, just like he is the most like one of the most like positive examples of like masculinity in a piece of popular fiction.
I would agree.
Is Aragorn. But so I would put Aragorn at a marry. Where it goes from there is where I think it gets a little bit more interesting. So I think one of the fucks you use for Legolas. Like, easy. Yeah. It's a twink. Of course you want to have sex with
a twink.
I'll blink that twink all night long, yeah.
I personally am gonna marry Gimli. Gimli seems like he would be a fun partner to have for, like, the rest of your life,
Mm-hmm.
As someone who's only just seen this film proper, who was that again? I don't remember.
That's the dwarf dude with the big beard.
Oh yeah. He's got very like what's the guy from Dungeon Meshi whose name I kept forgetting?
Senshi.
He has very Senshi vibes. Yeah. I love me a dwarf man.
Yeah, he's like if Senshi was like rowdy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of like it. I'm kind of here for it.
Now the problem comes down to like what do you use the other kills on?
I guess kill on Merry or Pippin. One of those two, depending on your taste.
See, I think I would kill Pippin personally because I just
I'm gonna marry the one woman.
There is no what do you mean? There's no woman.
Is that woman not part of the group?
Oh, the elf?
What, you mean Gladriel?
Arwen?
Oh, Oh, you mean like the lady
Liv
that
Tyler?
like... Yeah, Liv Tyler?
No,
Is that-
she's not. She is not a member of the.
Yeah, she's not part of the Fellowship.
and also not part of the hypothetical here.
Yeah, your options
fine.
are Frodo, Sam, Merry, Pippin, Aragorn, Boromir, Legolas, Gimli,
fucking
Gandalf.
marry Gandalf.
Well, I mean, I think you use one of the kills on Gandalf because he also dies in that. In
Not
that
if he
movie.
married me.
Yeah, it's just like, look.
I mean, sure. Okay, all right. I mean, at that point, then what do we do with Boromir? Because he doesn't have to be a kill then at that point.
But
I think
he's
you would
so
still kill
easily...
him. I would still kill him.
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk and...
Look, in this house, Boromir is a hero, and we respect him. But also,
he is the sacrifice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I do agree that you also spend one of the kills on either Merry or Pippin. I go with Pippin. I mean, do we kill Sam or Frodo then?
I would kill Gimli.
No, come on.
I mean, like, look, this is up to personal taste. And Gimli does not make the cut for me. I already don't want to get rid of any of the hobbits, but like getting rid of one of them is like the compromise position. For me, it's like marry Aragorn, marry Gandalf, marry one of the hobbits. I think Frodo and I are too alike. We would not pair well together.
My argument against marrying Gandalf is that, like, I think he smokes too much weed, and I could not, like, live the rest of my life with someone that's just constantly toking up.
He definitely has, like, one of those, like, you know, those pagan green man wall hangings in his unit. Like, he's very, like, he's very in your face about it.
Fuck Gandalf.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think Gandalf would be a really fun lay.
Yeah, he's not a good husband, but he'd be a great fuck.
Yeah. Like,
It'd be a hell of a story, too. We know he can make fireworks, okay?
Like, you fuck... I think you fuck Legolas, you fuck Gandalf, and you fuck Sam, because I think Sam would be a very giving... Like, he would be extremely accommodating when it comes to, like, you know, being in the bed with someone, I feel.
Sure.
Well, I feel like if we're killing Pippin, then I think like I would kill Merry and then fuck Pippin, because I think Pippin would be more fun.
I'm sorry.
Pippin is the one that knocks the shit down the well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's the fool of a took.
I'm trying to remember which is the one that like goes with him on the boat.
That's Sam.
That's Sam.
Sam.
Yeah.
I think maybe Sam, because we know one thing.
Fuck?
Well, yeah, because I'm saying we know one thing about him is that with his head underwater, he can hold his breath for a long time.
Yeah.
And if he can be down in there, like...
I'm not sure if it counts as holding breath, considering the face he was making, but...
Yeah, he was drowning.
Yeah,
he was not holding
He
his
didn't
breath.
need to be resuscitated, though. That was not insinuated. He was doing fine. When he pops back up, he'll be fine. He'll just catch his breath, right? But he was down there long enough, it's like, you know...
But yeah, you marry Aragorn. I choose marry Gimli, and then I think probably my third is I think I might go Frodo. Like, just because he goes through some shit over the course of like these films. So like if anyone is in it for the long haul, I think it is Frodo amongst everyone.
Yeah, honestly, Frodo he would be someone that like he would be a good companion to have with you.
Yeah.
Because like he is like they don't really go into it in the movies, but he is like into like elven lore and shit like that. So he'd be good to talk.
Well, I thought that was Sam was the one that's
Sam is just into elves because he thinks they're neat. Like
I just think they're neat.
Frodo like he actually like studies it and stuff.
Gotcha.
So, like, the guy who's really into elves is what the guy from, like, Freyrin was based on, right? The really horny for elves guy?
Which guy? I can't remember which guy that was in
From the original party, the blue-haired guy who tries to propose to her.
It wasn't so much that he was really into elves, it was just that he
was
had a thing for her.
Yeah.
He was horny, okay.
Yeah. down so bad that he proposed, but your girl is too autistic to notice.
We stand real
She's
representation
just
right here.
I don't know. I guess I like the
That's a nice ring. For the ring.
Cool ring. I just think it's neat.
I just think that ring is
boy.
neat. You picked out the marriage ring.
Yes.
It had a nice ring to it.
But all preamble aside, Evie, this week you had us watch Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Rings.
Yeah, from 2001, directed by Peter Jackson.
Yep.
And yeah, like this movie was such a huge cultural moment when it came out.
God.
I was very excited to revisit it because, like,
One, this has been a thing that we've been like foreshadowing between the two of us for the entirety of this podcast.
It was gonna happen.
and also just like I've been listening to an audiobook of the books recently. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get all the way through Fellowship before we recorded here, but like. And also just like, I don't know, I remember being so huge into these movies and the books when I was younger. Yeah, it's just like I was excited for the opportunity to visit with them again. And also I was it was very fun to learn that Bridget, you have never seen these movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Bree had people try to take her through like the first movie, but she apparently would continuously fall asleep, essentially during like the exposition right at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, basically right around the time things get kicking, I kept kind of zoning out, and like the only other thing I knew was like I was taken to see the second movie, and all I remembered was waking up around the stairboarding scene when my friend was like, look, check it out. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I just didn't really know much about it other than, like, I was kind of lost in a malaise of the high fantasy, which brings me to say, first, let me just apologize to Evie and to the entire podcast listening audience when I say, I'm genuinely glad I dosed up on caffeine and got through this movie. I genuinely enjoyed my time more than I expected to. Like, it was... I'll say more on it later, but like I had a thing with high fantasy that all kind of loops back around to this, and I'll get into that later. But that's kind of my initial.
So, Evie, what's the Lord of the Rings?
The Lord of the Rings is a fantasy series that was initially novelized, or it was published in the 1950s, written by J.R.R. Tolkien. It is a follow-up of his previous book, The Hobbit. Sort of continues the story of that character, Bilbo, by way of kind of following his heir.
Yeah, are they like actually related, or is it?
They're distantly related, but it's more of like he's kind of like a fun uncle that you go to live with.
I see.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest,
and,
I had never realized that Bilbo Baggins was not the main character of this thing.
I mean, I think it's probably because you would get the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings and like that old like Hobbit cartoon like intertwined in your brain.
The
In the middle of the earth, in the land of Shires, a brave little hobbit that we all admire.
Bilbo!
Yeah, you know.
Bilbo Baggins! Boom!
We can't get lost quite yet in like just the cultural ripples that Lord of the Rings has.
Much to be said about
that
that.
does sort of lead to the next part where just like those books were published in the 1950s, and then they sort of like they became a part of the culture. And like you see there were like occasional like animated adaptations. Led Zeppelin famously wrote songs referring to Middle Earth and all that kind of stuff. And so it just kind of like continued to be a part of like genre fiction, and like was extremely influential in those spaces.
Yeah.
But the movies are kind of where it hit like the wide popular culture.
Yes.
I remember growing up around the movies being the most important thing in the world since Pokemon to fucking everybody, and I do think that, like, as a disaffected teen, I was very much like, I don't fucking care. Like,
Yeah,
I was like, this is the thing everyone cares about. Fuck this.
it is the sort of thing that, like, a certain kind of teenager would instantly be, like, repelled by.
Yeah, I definitely fell into that realm.
You go wanna, like, you experiencing this as, like, a youth, like, let's say you were in your preteens or teens when these movies came out. You watch those and you swing one of two wildly different ways. You either, in the case of Bree, deflect and you're like, get this fucking
shit's
nerd
corny,
get
out
this
of here.
nerd shit out of my face, or you go the route that you and I do where we're like, no, this shit's sick.
Comments.
Yeah. Fuzzy in foot, stout in
Yeah.
heart.
But yeah, so these movies came out and they were huge. They were all filmed in New Zealand, kind of one after another.
Yeah, all filmed just at the same time.
Yes, at the same time and released like year after year.
Yes.
From 2001 to 2003. And then there were, then like a decade later, there were some Hobbit movies.
Yeah. Wasn't it the case with the Hobbit movies that initially those were supposed to be directed by someone else, and then
I think Del Toro was supposed to do it.
Yes, that is
Yeah,
what
Del
it
Toro was
was.
supposed to do it, but that fell through, and then Peter Jackson did it. They were supposed to be 2 movies, but then they made them 3.
Yeah, because they're like people, they love the trilogies.
It's a money printing machine.
Yeah, it's just like they maybe should have just made it 1, but like, but yeah, those movies not nearly as.
Like, the Hobbit novel isn't as big as Lord of the Rings.
God no!
No.
It's a short book.
Yeah, like as someone who has like just notoriously had trouble with getting through entire novels, even me as like a fucking teenager was able to read through The Hobbit in its entirety. Could I tell you everything that happened in The Hobbit? Fuck no. But I did read through all of that book.
Yeah.
Yeah, this did make me understand Tolkien's weight on everything, because, like, while this is probably far from the first visual adaptation of high fantasy to look the way that it does, I do still think it was, like, the crucible of where most high fantasy movies and video game design came from. The whole movie, I was pointing out locations from Elden Ring, like, oh, the Atlas Tunnel, or, oh, this is where you fight the Crucible Knight. And really, just, like, all of the world design of anything, towns and stuff was like, goddamn, everything took immediate influence from this. But I have to go on to say, I think the ironic thing is that the reason most likely that I find so much of this genre of media to be such a malaise for me was because in making these films, I'd already seen everything else that was trying to do that. So for me, seeing where it came from was like, oh, this shit again. Perspective.
That's the like fascinating like layers to Lord of the Rings like as a franchise over time, because that ripple effect that you see in like modern like video games and stuff like that, literally that is the same thing that if you go back is happening from the original novels too. Literally those novels come out and they are just quietly like influencing all high fantasy stuff from like that point forward, and then it just comes back as like it's like the tide receding and then coming back as like a tidal wave, like a massive one. It's fascinating to consider for like something as totemic as this.
Yeah, I feel like between this and like Berserk, you have those are like the 2 biggest touchstones for basically all fantasy stuff that would come after.
Which, by the
Yes.
way, Berserk also has a Pippin.
Well, it has a Pip, not a Pippin.
No, his name is Pippin.
Is this
Pippin.
I thought his name
it's
was just
Pippin.
Pip.
Pip for short, but his name is
Okay.
Pippin.
Okay, I forgot. I could have sworn that he just called that he was just Pip.
And to be fair, Pippin in Lord of the Rings, like his full name is Peregrine. Peregrine Took.
What a fucking nerd.
Yeah, that's fucking dork ass name. Anyway,
Fool of a toque.
Fool of a Took. Oh, I love that.
There's just, I mean, I guess like with that in mind, we can kind of it feels weird to say this, but like can kind of talk about like just the absolute like level of memetics that like surrounded and still surrounds Lord of the Rings as a result of like those movies like having existed, because there's so many moments watching Fellowship where I'm just like, oh yeah, it's that shit.
Yeah, that's where the meme came from.
Keep your secrets.
He said the thing.
What does not simply walk into Mordor?
No, I can't get bogged down in that shit.
Yeah.
The pose
The
that he's doing
famous
is not
line.
when he says that.
Yeah.
We need to stop the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Rings.
Oh my god.
He said the thing. Yeah, no, but it's there, definitely.
But, okay, I guess realistically there's not too much to talk about in regards to the memetics, but it was just a fascinating part of that movie.
Yeah.
Like, this rewatch is going through that and just be like, oh yeah, there's just so much shit in this movie that became a thing on the fucking internet.
Yeah.
Say the line, Aragorn.
But even like outside of like internet memes or whatever, there are just so many like lineable lines in this movie.
The dwarves dug too greedily and too deep. They know what they awoke in the minds of Moria. I regularly quote too greedily and too deep.
It's so good.
It's such a good line.
Nobody throws a dwarf.
Like, it's just... I guess that kind of can allow us to like transition into talking about like the campiness of the movie. Like, it's a very earnest movie, but it also knows like
it's very fun.
Yeah, how fun and funny it is as a film.
The movie is very aware of its campiness, and I love that so much more than a movie that on one hand or another can't stop winking at the camera, God forbid, or like takes itself way too seriously in every aspect of its universe. I've mentioned I was half awake seeing bits from the second film in the series where, like, you know, you see like the stairboarding and shit. Having now finally watched the first movie, it almost kind of feels like it fits. One of those little moments of like, yes, we're taking this seriously, but we're having fun. We're spinning the wizards around and having them have a shove each other with force pushes fight. You know, it's these little things that are just like, there's a silliness to this that they couldn't have missed. They knew what they were doing, and I love it.
It's the fascinating thing about where these movies happen in like Peter Jackson's career, because at this point in time I don't know if Dead Alive is like the last thing he had done before doing these movies, but at the very least
that may be the case.
Yeah, but at the very least this is like the first like big commercial thing that he does, and you can still feel like, because for people who don't know, Dead Alive is like a very Evil Dead, like campy, like silly horror movie type deal, like splatterhouse type shit. And you can still feel that like kind of school of thought in a lot of the direction of the Lord of the Rings films.
Sure.
And then, like, you look at those movies, and then you look at the other side of that with everything that Peter Jackson would do from that point, and, like, it feels like he got high on his own supply of, like, what everyone would praise that trilogy for, where it's like, oh, it's so epic in scale, the visual effects are so amazing and everything like that.
That's something that I'm interested to see, like, if it starts to fall off during the trilogy that we're watching.
Sure.
Because, like, I remember Return of the King being just, like, a huge movie.
Yes.
Like, but like, in terms of, like, its own scale and, like, the visual effects that it employs. Like, I wonder how much of, like, the fun nature of the film, like, the fun nature of this film is, like, how will it continue to
maintain that?
Yeah, will it maintain that? Like, I feel like it probably will through the Two Towers, but I wonder if Return of the King is going to be where, like, I wonder if that was going to be the hardest one to get through.
I do feel like at the time...
Is that going to be King Kong?
Yeah, like, more King Kong than Dead Alive.
Because I will say that I feel like when Return of the King came out, people were more down on that movie versus the first two.
Yeah. Like, I think, like, in some ways, with like that movie won, like, I guess we'll talk about it when we talk about that movie, but like that movie like won a bunch of awards.
Yeah.
And like there was a sort of feeling that it getting those awards was sort of like a makeup for not awarding Fellowship when it came out.
Yeah.
Or like those awards are sort of like for the project as a whole, less for Return of the King.
Yes.
Interesting.
Which that is the other thing that will make it interesting to like go through the series as a whole, is like if you consider that they were all made at the same time, then just logic should tell you that they all generally keep like at least a similar like tone and earnestness throughout all of them. But I guess like how much more do we want to talk about like the surrounding, like the general Lord of the Rings like pop culture ephemera versus like,
I think there's one more thing that we need to talk about, and I think you shouldn't talk about Lord of the Rings without talking about this.
Sure.
And it is like the fact that Lord of the Rings was written by J.R.R. Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien, even at the time of the book's publication, was a very stodgy old British man.
Yep.
Like the character of these books is like, or the character of, I guess like an important thing to remember is that those books are informed by Tolkien's experiences fighting in World War One. And he was right. There's a very good video essay by Verily Bitchy called "The Queer History of Lord of the Rings," that kind of gets into the fact that it's important to talk about the fact that there are a lot of different ways to read both the books and the movies, and the movies continued kind of position in the culture today is like a lot of reactionaries have taken like their readings of the movies and kind of ran with it.
Yeah.
Like most kind of, you look at someone like a Palmer Luckey who has multiple like surveillance and like I hate this euphemism, like defense contractor companies like named after like one of them is named Anduril, which is the reforged sword that Aragorn eventually wields. And Peter Thiel famously has Palantir, which is the seeing stone that Saruman employs in this movie. And it's not a matter of like the stuff that the reactionary readings of Lord of the Rings, it's all stuff that's in the text.
Yes.
Because Tolkien he's an old British man in the 1950s. So like,
thank God he wasn't writing comedy.
Yeah, it's like there's
a different parallel that I draw, but I'll let Evie finish her thought.
Yeah, he's like the stuff where like all of the quote unquote good races are very white coded, and all of the quote unquote bad races are very black coded.
Yep.
Like there is like a racism inherent to the work.
Yep.
And there is a sort of like it is a reading that it's out there, and it like I don't want to be like, oh, they got the wrong reading, because like the stuff that they see in these movies and in those books, it's there.
Yeah.
But just as much like there's plenty of really good stuff to take out of these books, and I think that's the kind of the
comparison I was making, Evie, when I was talking to you about this topic last night was like if Lord of the Rings were the kind of thing that, like, let's say J.R.R. Tolkien was writing that now, and he was, like, a public figure now, he would absolutely be, like, a J.K. Rowling type, like, reactionary out there in the public.
I'm really glad he missed the, like, worst era of Twitter, you know? Like...
Because, like, you could very much look at those books that fucking terrible witch has written, and, like, you can pluck, like, good things out of those novels, but also there's plenty of shit in there that you're like...
Please, she wants to be called a witch. That only empowers her. Child molester. And, you know, she is...
Allegedly. Let's not actually get sued for libel.
Well, I think the thing about it is...
Allegedly,
I know what I
Bill
said.
Clinton's sax was sucked.
We can't get into it.
Evie, please continue.
Yeah, and like, you know, it's not... This isn't the point, but, like, Lord of the Rings... leaps and bounds better literature than the Harry Potter books.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Also, I think it's true. Where, like, if those books were written, like, you know, half a century later, like, we wouldn't be talking about them in the same way, because, like, the way that they're, like, let's just say, the gay reading of them does those books favors that I don't think Tolkien would be willing to take as, like, a stodgy old Catholic in Britain in the 1950s.
That's a very, not to get too lost in that general idea, but, like, that's actually a super interesting thing to touch on, like, kind of the way that, you know, old stuffy British things get reinterpreted by, you know, later generations, and, like, kind of those other generations are able to just, like, inherently, like, see the homoeroticism in there and pull it out of that, because the similar thing happens with Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. That's a Japanese film directed, or that's a movie directed by a Japanese filmmaker based on an old British novel. And if you speak to the original novelist about it, he would tell you, like, no, there's no fucking homoerotic, there's no gay shit in there. The fuck are you talking about?
They made my story woke.
But you watch that movie, and, like, it is almost explicitly, like, a piece of queer cinema that you are watching.
That is one of the beautiful undertones of it that's very prominent.
Yeah.
I think it's very beautiful to take something that's British and make it good.
Well, I think the interesting thing about it is, like, as I said, Lord of the Rings is based off, is influenced by Tolkien's experiences fighting in World War One, and that includes, like, the relationship between Frodo and Sam is explicitly inspired by officers and, like, their underlings, like, particular, like there's so many, like, it is, the intention is to write about, like, homosociality.
Yes.
But it's written about in such a way, or written in, like, in reference to an environment where the way that men are, like, the way that they relate to each other and the way that they are intimate with each other is out of the norm. Because, like, in the trenches of World War One, like, the dudes be cuddling.
Yeah.
The dudes are emotional with each other because, like,
they're being shot at.
you're in the worst conditions that a person could possibly be in. Yeah. And so
there are no heterosexuals in foxholes.
That is effectively what she's saying. It's just like there is such an intimacy inherent in being in that kind of life or death situation that, like, there's just an inherent homoeroticism to it that you can, like, never fully avoid. Like, it's always gonna kind of be there, at least a little bit.
And so, having said that, it's interesting to look at the ways that the movie tries to tamp down on that reading, where it is just like, we need to put a scene in here where Aragorn and Arwen are actually talking to each other, and it's not just like basically an aside where like that scene exists in the book, but is basically like in the sense it is just like Arwen and Aragorn talked. And then, like, we don't know what they're talking about, but, like...
So you're saying Peter Jackson has a case of the not gays.
Basically. There was a lot of no homoing being done.
And it does not work. Like, they try to no homo it, but it just fucking cuts through like a goddamn knife.
And part of that is the explicit influence of Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen, who plays Gandalf in this, who like would occasionally give direction to the other actors and be like, hey, look, like the scene where Frodo and Frodo's waking up in the bed of Rivendell after almost dying, and Sam's there with him. Ian McKellen would be like, be sure to grab his hand. The fans will be looking for that, and it's just like, oh, okay, sure. And like McKellen has gone on the record saying just like it was important to me as a gay man to make sure that reading was like represented,
real
like,
one
that is like still present, even though they do so much later to be like, oh, Sam got together with all Rosie Cotton. It's just like Sam got together with Rosie Cotton, but we know where we know.
Yeah,
we know.
That's I did not even consider that. That's fucking amazing.
Was it Ian McKellen or Christopher Lee is showing how to stab somebody?
That was
Christopher Lee. Yeah. That one I know about. I didn't know about the Ian McKellen part, but
no, this is how you stab.
This is what it sounds like to stab a man at the back. I know this because I worked for the OSS during World War II. God. Okay, let's talk about the actual movie.
God. Well, so, we talk about the Lord of the Rings as the book. So, essentially, the book outlines the journey of Frodo Baggins, who essentially is tasked with taking a ring that, effectively, let's just say it houses, like, the evils of the world, more or less.
Yeah, it is like...
Power and corruption.
The most
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question as somebody whose experience with this property has only been like a few weird offshoots.
Yes.
Why is the most evil ring in the world its only power is to turn invisible?
Well, I mean, if you consider the ability to turn invisible, like, as you being the only one that has it, you could do a lot of shit.
Bridget,
with that.
Imagine the face of the actual puppet master of the forces of the world. Exactly, you can't, because we're not allowed to see him, because we'd kill him.
Well, also, I think, like, it is not explicitly laid out, but I think the implication is that there is a lot, like, the ring is powerful in the way that you could do a lot of other stuff with it, but the only people who actually use it are hobbits, and so and in situations where they want to disappear or I think if you put it like, if Gandalf were to wield the ring, or if one of the elves were to wield the ring, it would look different.
Yeah.
If I want to disappear, I just ask for government aid.
Because I will say, the thing with the ring is specifically Sauron made that to control the other ring bearers. Like, because the whole thing with the exposition that they lay out up front is like, however long ago, basically much time, thousands of years, to the point that like these stories are basically considered myth and not an actual part of like the world that they are living in. Like, a bunch of the different races like made their own like rings of power, and then like Sauron saw that as like, I'm gonna make a ring that controls all those other rings.
That son of a bitch, Celebrimbor.
This guy's fucking Illuminati.
Ring to give to Sauron to control all the other rings.
Yeah, so that is the thing that's actually the danger about it, is that it is literally so strong that it,
Excuse me.
like, we see it in the movie with the Nazgul, but like it is such a all-corrupting evil that it is literally able to like take those 9 human ring bearers of the past and turn them into like these walking ghouls that just do the bidding of Sauron.
Okay,
despite the fact that at this point his consciousness is just stuck in this like single ring.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, at least like a significant part of it, because presumably part of it is back in Mordor.
Yeah. In the eye.
Gathering
That's
power.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Bridget?
Oh, I have a cool new plan. I'm gonna give all the countries of the world a nuclear bomb. And also, by the way, only I know the launch codes. Whoopsies!
Yeah. It kind of something like
it
that.
really does a great job of explaining the levels of power and corruption. Though my read of it is that the ring represents being a hot girl with a bunch of dudes around you who are totally just being your friends, but the minute they're alone with you for a moment, they're like, hey, you want to give me that ring, though? I'm not being weird. Hear me out. No, don't talk to them. Wait, come here.
Are you saying Boromir got friend zoned?
Yeah, I'm saying as soon as I came out and all my friends who were just my friends started acting weird around me, I saw what was happening. I know what you were doing.
But anyways, the movie and really the series of movies follow the quest of Frodo to take that one ring and to destroy it.
Yeah.
And, you know, specifically the Fellowship follows the story of, like, him first getting that ring from Bilbo, who had it all this time since it was like lost out in the wild, and you know Gandalf the Grey, the cool wizard that occasionally comes to the Shire and smokes weed.
A wizard never arrives late, nor does he arrive early. He arrives ripping fat cotton candy clouds, doing sick vape tricks.
What are you gonna say, Bridget?
Was it lost? I think Gollum, he just took it from Gollum, right?
So,
Gollum lost it. Like,
Shit.
like
Gollum lost it. He had it for some amount of time. It was like, well, first, Isildur
cut the ring from Sauron's
hand and then refused to destroy it.
Yep.
But then the ring betrayed him and he died, and the ring ended up in a riverbed.
Yes.
For some indeterminate amount of time.
Until Gollum found it.
Gollum found it, and then he was in a mountain for hundreds of years, becoming a wretched little beast.
Yeah, and then fucking Bilbo Baggins was on his own little journey through those mountains, and Gollum was like, "Answer me, my riddles 3!" And
The hobbits are coming, hooray, hooray.
accidentally lost his ring, and Bilbo
took it, and then 60 years passed, and then the beginning of the Lord of the Rings.
That was the thing with Gollum and the Hobbit. It was like
it was like a riddle, and then like and Gollum insists that Bilbo cheated, and there was like all this shit.
Yeah.
And then the breeding pits.
Yep, that happens somewhere in between there. But anyways, specifically, Fellowship follows the leg of the journey where Gandalf basically sees that, you know, Bilbo has
that magic ring that Bilbo brought back is the ring.
We gotta fucking kill that thing. Let me get a bunch of cadres together to take this shit over to Mount Doom to melt that in the fires.
Yeah. And so the movie, I think it's like roughly 3 parts, where it's like you got the very beginning up to
Basically Shire to leaving the Shire.
The Shire to leaving the Shire to ending up the Shire's leaving the Shire, then they end up in Bree and meet Strider / Aragorn, and then they end up in Rivendell.
We should know Bree the town.
Yeah, not Bree the person.
Yeah, they're not in me. Though, frankly, if you give that elf girl some abs, like, you know, fuck, marry, and kill whoever you want. She's mine. I'm just gonna go over here.
Then,
leaving Rivendell to...
Yeah, the Fellowship is formed, and then the Fellowship travels for a while, ends up in the Mines of Moria. Gandalf dies there, and then the breaking of the Fellowship afterwards.
Yeah. but not really the breaking of the fellowship, because Aragorn says at the end there, just like, as long as we all stay true to each other, like, that's the
just
thing
like
that counts.
just like homies for life.
Yeah.
As long as he ain't out there talking shit, like, we're all still homies.
Yeah.
Like, it's still there.
So yeah, the parts in the Shire is like, it's so good because like,
it's unreal to me. Sorry, you
no, yeah, just like in terms of just like scene setting, because like this is like the good stuff. Like, this is the thing that is supposed to like presage the entire journey beforehand.
Yeah.
Whereas just like, this is the whole reason why anyone bothers to do the shit. To like, when it comes to how Tolkien visualized it, this is supposed to be like the goodness of the goodness of England.
We used to be a country.
Yeah,
Look what they took from us.
But even so, like,
but the more like widespreading like metaphor you draw there is like, this is the home that you are trying to like protect.
Yeah,
Generally. By going on this journey that you go on.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason. Like, oh, yeah, you go ahead, Bridget.
It's very. Do you think the Teletubbies were inspired by the Shire?
No, I think they were
so.
inspired by the Windows XP background, which was inspired by the Shire.
That's fair.
They may have been inspired by New Zealand countryside.
Yeah, that's probably more of just a scenic countryside inspiration than anything. Like, it's very, like, the thing that gets me about the stuff in the Shire is just like, it is so... every scene in that part of the movie, well, really in the whole movie, but that area in particular is like so earnest in all of its like character and world building at like every single step of the way.
Yeah.
Like, when Gandalf is coming back to the town,
You feel that.
yeah, you feel like you feel that excitement that the hobbits have. They're like, oh shit, here comes the wizard.
It's like that warm, cool uncle that you know who always brings like a little bit of weed and like a CD
even though the
of some
hobbits
cool
are
music.
But the hobbits are the one that grow.
Yeah, but like just a really
Gandalf brings the illegal fireworks.
yeah, he brings the illegal fireworks and the bitchin' tunes, and he's just like, oh man, this guy's back. He's you feel like this is someone that you know and love arriving. They really capture that element of the character so immediately and get that across in an amazingly quick way.
And also, you get a lot of Gandalf. Gandalf just loves hobbits. He thinks they're so cool.
He just thinks they're neat.
Like, in a couple of ways, it ends up like his feelings towards them end up like, you get like a more paternalistic side of it, but you also get a lot of him just like, man, these hobbits are great.
Yeah, I love these little fucking guys.
I think one of you compared it to like looking down on a dog, like, aw.
Yeah,
It's the same house.
Yeah.
It's the same house.
Bridget put in the group chat a photo of the house from the fucking Teletubbies.
Oh,
like,
no, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, like, it was a really metal show.
Like,
Because, like, the
it's what-
giant, like, baby head on fire was kind of a weird choice,
Yeah,
but it was like...
Here's the fucking thing, is like, it's less of a influence of Lord of the Rings specifically, and it's more of an influence of like the old ways that humans would like inhabit like natural spaces.
Yeah, like people would. It used to be more normal for people to just
We
build
used to have
houses in the
society.
ground.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
We
trying
used to be
remember
a
what-
subterranean society.
There was something that I was talking about yesterday where I was talking about, like, that's less the influence of this thing specifically and more of an influence. No, it was that I think you were trying to make an argument of, like,
You being Bree.
Bree, yes, sorry.
Yeah, they can't
Bree-
see us.
Bree was trying to make an argument about Lord of the Rings specifically influencing one thing, and I had to be like, no, it was Bridget. Sorry, this has been a roundabout thing. It was Bridget talking about how the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings influenced the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings, and I had to be like, that's not how that works. Like, they're both from the same book. Like, they're going off of the description that fucking Peter Jackson, that J.R.R. Tolkien put on the page.
Yeah, the animated film, the live-action shot film, the song by Leonard Nimoy, it's all from the same source.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin. Same deal.
Like, it's all supposed to be
animated film
outside of the
also
van.
has live action.
I mean, van paintings are the most, like, this is where that began. The writings of...
Anyways, getting back to...
Don't make me pick Supervan. That is a real film.
Well,
I have no idea what the fuck
I don't want to know what
about.
goes on in that.
anyway, this does a great job of establishing just like, you meet Frodo, you meet Bilbo, and Bilbo's mostly just there to kind of set up the whole like where did the ring come from, and like.
And giving Frodo his cool accessories that he's going to use in the journey.
Yeah.
Mithril.
Well,
my glowing blue sword.
He gets most of that stuff in Rivendell. He pretty much just gets the ring here.
Yeah. But he does get it from Bilbo specifically.
Yeah. But anyway, like, I like that Gandalf, like, begins to suspect that something is up with the ring and then has to, like, go to... I think it's Minas Tirith is the name of the city that he goes to, like, look at their library and be like, oh, shit, that probably is the ring.
Yeah, I'm pretty... Well, he goes there, and then there's, like, another cut to him just kind of looking off of a vista that's, like, facing Mordor, and he sees, like, shit rumbling in the distance. He's like, fuck,
that's the ring.
That's the ring. Those people are coming to get that fucking ring.
Yeah. And then... And like, that's something that takes up a whole lot of, like, there's a lot of words in the book that are spent on that, where Gandalf is explaining all of this to Frodo. Yeah. And, like, just like, yeah, and, like, I hired a guy to go find Gollum and see what he was up to, and it's unsaid in the movie, but that's what Strider's been up to a lot of the time. They made a video game about it later. But something that's very interesting is, like, the movie, like, it speeds up a whole lot of stuff that in the book, like, they spin a lot of their wheels about. Yeah. Where it's like, when Gandalf returns, it feels like Frodo gets started, like, immediately with Sam, like, right as but, like, in the book, it's like, he learns about all this, and then Frodo's like, all right, I'll leave by the end of the year. Yeah. And then...
This is the furthest you'll have ever been from home.
Sorry, I pointed at Bridget. Currently, she is back in Florida now, preparing to do the move itself.
One other thing to do with, like, the writing of, like, the hero with the glowing blue sword. I imagine George Lucas was reading that, taking notes, and being like, "Hey, you know what would be cool?"
Well, I mean, like, the thing about it is just like the books are all up in genre fiction.
Oh yeah.
Like, even if it's not directly, like, fantasy or whatever. Mm-hmm. But anyway, what was I?
Yeah, you were talking about, like, passage of time in the book versus the movie.
And another thing is that Merry and Pippin are, like, more, like, they're more directly part of the whole deal, like, from the beginning.
Okay.
Where, like, also, like, Frodo's relationship with Merry and Pippin is a lot more like, oh, these four guys, like, are tight together already.
Whereas in the movie, it feels a bit more slapdash with all of the hobbits and their general grouping.
Yes, and Fatty Bulger, who is, like, the fifth member, who is, like, the Pete Best of the hobbits, he does not get mentioned here at all. No. In the movies at all.
I mean, then that just leads into the conversation of a fucking Tom Bombadil or something like that, where it's like...
Peter Jackson made the right decision not to.
No, yeah, you don't put like. Don't get me wrong. I think Peter Jackson would find a way to make it work at this point in his career in terms of like a silly guy that just kind of hangs out with them for a little bit, but like it would feel extremely out of place with the entire rest of that series. Listening
to the audiobooks, like I've been listening to the specific version read by what's his face?
Andy
Serkis, who does like the singing and everything and does very good, like he does a very good job dramatizing. Though that audiobook made me a Tom Bombadil believer, where just like the whole part that Tom Bombadil is like in the mix is fucking hilarious. It is so funny.
Basically, he's this guy. He's like the man of the big yellow hat.
Yeah, like he's just like this weird guy who lives in the forest with his hot like river wife. And he just runs around singing all the time. Yes. And he's like. And so you got these stupid little hobbits going around doing their thing, and then all of a sudden there's this weirdo running up to them, being like, "Hey, little fellows!" and it's very ludicrous in a great way, but could not adapt that into these movies.
No,
it's just a different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get all the stuff in the Shire, and like it is very funny that basically Gandalf's whole deal with the Hobbit is that he basically just trades illegal fireworks with them for their good weed.
I need more of that fine kush.
Let it not be understated how funny it is that like when Saruman meets up with Gandalf, he's like, "You've been smoking too much fucking grass,
You're
dude.
smoking that booty shit."
But also, like, the funny part of it is like they're having this conversation outside of like around Saruman's tower, which is just like
the most evil-looking wizard tower.
It's the most evil-looking wizard tower, but it's surrounded by this beautiful verdant forest, and he is like, You've been melting your brain on that hobbit grass. You should be more like me, doom scrolling into the Seeing Stone and driving myself insane that way.
Join me in my evil PS3 lair. Can we go back to CG looking bad? It looks so much better.
It's so good. Well, it's not. Here's the thing. It doesn't look bad. It's the same thing that happens with like the escalation of like video game graphics and things like that. It doesn't matter how fucking good technically the graphics are. It's all about like the fucking art design.
Yeah, the what goes into it.
Yeah. Like if you don't have that down, it's gonna look like fucking shit.
Yeah.
But like this movie is going for such a specific tone and look to everything that like you see that battle in like the beginning exposition, and like you have like these hordes of like PS3 NPCs off in the distance being thrown back by the power of Sauron, but it's awesome.
It's the fucking Dynasty Warrior
exactly.
shit. It's so cool.
Fucking exactly. Like it works in this movie because it is leaning into it. It knows what it is exactly.
There are definitely areas where like, you know, when they're running from the Balrog and stuff, and like the stairs are falling down, like there are areas where you go like, okay, that wasn't where they were putting all of the CG budget into, because it doesn't matter as much, and we're watching this on like a 4K screen, so we're gonna notice it. But like it, you know, it wasn't meant for this, but it still looks so freaking better.
They save a lot. They save their money for they save for the money shot of showing the Balrog, which looks fucking awesome.
It looks so fucking sick.
Yeah.
Also, to look back on a movie that was shot on location for most of the shots, obviously you can kind of see some of the reshoots here and there, but the shots that are actually taken in real space feel so fucking beautiful, and it makes you realize how much everything we watch now is just a green screen movie that looks like it was made in a mall kiosk. I didn't realize how much I missed on-site shots until I looked at this film from the era it was in, and it's like, god damn it, we need more of this.
Everything's filmed in the volume now.
Yeah,
it's a level of understanding what effectively is a mixed medium in this kind of pop filmmaking style that it has to be, with combinations of CG, real sets, or real locations, sets,
miniatures,
just understanding how each individual piece should be utilized and when it should be utilized. It's genuinely baffling just how on top of all of those elements this movie was, how influential it was, and how much so many movies that came in the wake. We are essentially still living in the cinema blowback to Lord of the Rings at this point in time, and so many things still don't fucking get it in terms of what that movie did.
Not even the Hobbit movies.
Yeah, not even the fucking Hobbit movies get it.
Peter Jackson himself lost the fucking plot because, he made King Kong directly after these movies.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, and part of me can kind of understand how you lose the plot, because with Fellowship, it's so much easier to get away with, at the very least, for real locations and stuff like that. That is a lot easier to fudge when it is just kind of the very first leg of this journey, where they're not going over as fantastical of environments as they get to in Two Towers.
Once you get to Mordor, that's it's a blasted hellscape. It's kind of hard to shoot on location there.
Yeah, so part of me can understand how by those two movies being closer to where we are now, how everyone loses the fucking plot at that point. But it is truly amazing just how much we lost the fucking plot.
Yeah.
It's boggling to the mind.
There's one shot towards the end where it is just a bird's eye view of.
Is it them coming out of the Mines of Moria?
It's during the fight where Boromir dies.
Oh.
It's when he's trying to hold off and protect the hobbits.
Yeah.
Where it is a bird's eye view, where it is just you see from the top down this landscape that's just overrun with orcs running all over it, and it's just you wouldn't see a shot like that anymore, where it would be set up such that you're actually seeing the guys running in the landscape itself.
Yeah.
It's this movie is so gorgeous to watch.
It's
so
unreal.
I think the place where the on-site the on-location shot stuff really poked out for me for the first time was where you've got, I think that might have been where Frodo was on horseback being rescued by
Arden.
By Arden, yeah, running through that area as you're shooting that horse running through those trees, and it's oh man, those trees are actually there.
That's the other thing to point out, is just all the real I guess you would call it stunt work, but the horseback stuff and things of that nature, particularly during that scene where they're just fucking bobbing and weaving.
Oh yeah, through that, the cinematography, the stunt work that is amazing. It's all of that comes together, but it's also, if this wasn't on location, it wouldn't even look half as good as it does. And it just makes the whole thing come together when all those elements coalesce.
Well, it's the thing that I talked about during the movie, the power that a simple just long distance shot of the bodies moving across like this just vast landscape. Like,
Yeah.
how much just something as simple as that like really adds to the scale of this movie and making it feel like such a epic journey as it is. And like the kind of going back to the topic of like time and the like, that's maybe the one thing that I feel this movie like kind of falls short on is like Evie, you were telling us about like how much time passes over the course of those books versus this movie where like everything just kind of feels like, okay, go
Yeah, this is what's happening. Now we're here. Now we're there.
And that's the one place where it falls kind of short, is really nailing in the viewer's brain that like, no, this is taking a long fucking time.
Yeah, they're walking from place to place essentially.
Yeah, versus something that we had, me and Bree specifically had been watching the first time recently, which was Freyren, which is like constantly reminding you about how much time is passing for this journey for these characters.
Yeah, that's something that you can imagine like the way that series does that is a direct response to the Lord of like these movies like not taking like not doing that explicit sort of timekeeping.
Because like this movie does mention like the elves here are similar to Freyren, in which that one elf is like he was there.
Yeah, that dude was fucking there for that fight with Sauron.
Yeah, Elrond, played by Hugo Weaving.
Oh, good.
Last of the Elven Lords.
The fucking the scene where Isildur like decides not to put in the fucking throw the ring into Mount Doom and does the little smirk at him, just like
it's so funny.
He's so cunty in that
like,
moment.
No, I don't
What
know.
if after all this I just fuck it. I want to be a witch.
Which like. Sorry, I guess kind of on the topic of time, Evie, have you watched the extended versions at all or no?
I watched them when they came out ages ago.
Did you have any particular takeaway from those when you watched them? Like, no.
Like at the time, it was like cool to be like, oh, it includes like this, and this that got kind of skipped over in the theatrical cuts. But like I probably should have looked them up, but maybe that's something I'll do for when we're talking about Two Towers. Okay. But like but honestly, I think this per my memory, the stuff that gets cut is stuff that it would be cool if it were in the movie, but it's the sort of thing where it's just like.
It's non-essential.
Yeah, it's not it's not a mini series.
For a pop film, for like a piece of popular
for a movie that is
culture.
Like as it is right around 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like it's not important to keep it in.
Like they basically kept everything they needed to for you to watch this movie and be like, yep, that was a fucking solid, complete arc of a story.
But at the very least, it isn't like, it isn't like the original version of Lawnmower Man, where the first hour that they left in the director's cut was just the guy running around going, hey, Cybo Man, running after a monkey that ends up getting shot to death when there's no point in him being in the fucking movie. There was no point in that whole thing.
Anyway. Watching The Lawnmower Man.
I don't want to watch
I might want to talk about it. I might want to talk about it, but we are not watching the director's cut again. That was an accident. We didn't know. I was like, I don't remember any of this happening. What the fuck is going on? And we figured out that's what it was.
Anyway, back to the movie we were watching.
Yeah.
So, the hobbits go to the town of Bree. The plan is that Gandalf's supposed to meet them there, but Gandalf's not there.
Yeah.
Instead, who's there is Aragorn, aka Strider, who's a ranger who helps the hobbits instead.
And it's also to like the knowledge of definitely not the hobbits, but a few other characters, and heir to Isildur.
Yeah, he is like the rightful king of Gondor, who does not have a king at the time that the story is happening.
a whole scuffle in the bar happens. And Frodo gets the ring on because he's a hobbit and he wants to disappear from this situation, so he puts on the ring, and then suddenly the Nazgul, who've been like kind of roaming the lands, are like,
just like, oh, there he is.
There's that motherfucker.
Baggins Shire.
Hey, I'm looking for the guy who's got the ring that everyone wants. Yeah, his name is Frodo Baggins. Hey, are you looking for him? Here's a picture of him. You can keep that. It just has a list of his fears on the back.
It has been this bad, Lewis, since I was a member of the Nazgul.
Get me out of this bit.
Anyway, so they leave the town of Brede, and with the Nazgul like right on their asses.
Yeah.
There's a very good.
There's a bit where they stop in some ruins, and you know they're resting for the night, and then suddenly Frodo's woken up in the middle of the night by
his idiot friends,
fucking stoner
dinner.
Friends like cooking dinner for themselves.
What are you fucking doing?
You idiots! We're being hunted by demons!
On an empty stomach, though.
Then there's a cool fight scene where, like, the Nazgul, they stab... One of the Nazgul... the Witch King of Angmar fucking stabs Frodo with his evil knife. But then Aragorn shows up and kicks all their asses.
Throws a fucking torch at one of them and lights them on fire.
I didn't know that Frodo got, like, shish kebab twice in this. Like, in the same place.
Technically, he only gets shish kebabbed once. He almost gets shish kebabbed the second time if it weren't for the mithril armor that he was wearing.
That's right. Right. But the first time he gets souvlaki'd pretty hard.
Yeah, he gets stabbed by a demon weapon, and Aragorn is like, I can't heal this because this knife was fucking evil.
Yeah, this knife was evil and laced with poison.
Yeah,
basically.
you had to get hit with a damn evil knife. Like,
So here is an interesting element of like dehomification, where what happens in the movie is that Arwen then shows up, who is Aragorn's love interest, fated to they're fated to be together, all this garbage. She takes Frodo and like rides with him to Rivendell. Now in the books, that position is taken by a different character who is just like this is Glorfindel erasure.
Ooh.
It's an elf named Glorfindel, and he is just like a cool elf guy who is basically here for that part of the story, and then he is like not a part of it after. So they take him out in lieu of giving Arwen more screen time, which is not a bad idea for making a movie, but also, Glorfindel's always in here. It is in my heart.
Yeah. It also sounds like in a trying time of war, your buddy who would also have been a man in the foxhole is like, hold your shoulder. Like, but you take that out because, like, but what if we put a hot girl here?
But you talking about the choreography in that scene, like, kind of reminds me of, like, later on there's the whole, like, sequence in the Mines of Moria, and you talked about, like, the fight choreography in there and just the movie having such a good understanding of, like, the push and pull of tension of, like, a good action sequence.
Yeah.
And I feel like the thing that helps this movie so much is that, like, it does, by virtue of it, like, being a high fantasy, like, story first and foremost, is that it is focused more so on the characters and everything. So action sequences end up playing more like punctuation marks on the sentences as opposed to like the sentence itself.
Yeah,
like,
they're not the money shot alone.
It is about the thing that makes that sequence towards the end with Boromir almost like taking the ring from Frodo so good is just that confrontation between the two of them before everything else.
So I think a good example of that is when they end up in Moria.
Yeah.
And like Gimli has this whole thing of just like he leads up to it being like, oh, we're gonna go to Moria. My cousin's the Lord there. He's gonna welcome us with open arms. It's gonna be awesome. And then they get there and it's a tomb. Everyone is dead. Yeah. There's a very good no
He's
from
so
Gimli.
sad.
I think he gets like a couple of good no's. Gimli gets a lot of good noises in this movie.
Gimli, played by John Rhys Davies, is like he like this whole section is like his, where like we see he's devastated by the death of his cousin and just like this instance of like the elvish society brought low, or not
the dwarvish
society brought low. And like then the fight scene comes in, like starts up, and Gimli is like he is so pumped to kill some people.
Yes,
devastated.
You get the real like dichotomy of Gimli
ponies
in
like
that
food,
moment.
don't they? Yeah.
like this.
There's almost like a tragic humor to him, like walking into there, like, oh yeah, let's go here. Fuck!
It is pretty funny, that it goes that way. Like, just Boromir immediately is like, oh, this isn't a fucking like party. This is a tomb.
Yeah,
like this.
It's like, I can't wait to show you my house, and you open the door, and your parents have hung themselves, and they're skeletons. Like, oh well, what are you gonna do?
I think that's the thing that like almost turns it a little bit into comedy, because they have been dead for so long that like the skin has rotted off the bone.
Yeah, he just like he hasn't seen this cousin in like decades, presumably.
Yeah. These have become ruins.
Oh man, I really like that guy.
Oh man, that guy owed me a pint.
Yes.
I love that pints look like steins to the hobbits.
Well, they look okay. Thank you, Bree. You've allowed me to transition into. So for me, the thing that makes this movie so impressive in terms of like its visual effects, kind of like going back to we were talking about like the mixed media and everything of this movie, is like I think by virtue of the fact that like it is comparatively like more low-key in the scale of it, you're allowed to just like have more practical like effects in things. So like having those scenes with like the forced perspective going on between like Gandalf and the hobbits and everything like that, it's genuinely impressive to still look at nowadays. Like it's fucking wild.
It's awesome. And Bree mentioned like the one instance of it where when they're in the town of Bree at the tavern there, the hobbits get to have a pint, and it's just like this big ass mug in comparison to their tiny set.
Like you're drinking one of those fucking boots of beer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like one of those proper steins that are like a double pint, like you know, like Homer Simpson size mug.
Like it's the type of shit that if the hobbits like drank the full pint, they would probably immediately die of like alcohol poisoning.
I want a replica of one of like, because in order to do that effect, they had to have made just like a big pint glass. And so just like I want one of those.
Like, oh, it's so fucking cool. Like Gandalf walking around in Bilbo's house in the beginning and just like smacking his head on the fucking like on the ceiling like a tire and everything. It's so cool.
Yeah, like there's a couple of like where it goes to a shot of Gandalf's face and like you have to see it through like a chandelier because he's so tall in the Hobbit house. They end up in Moria. They do the whole thing where Gimli's relations are dead, and like the dwarves dug too greedily and too deep, and so they found a demon and a bunch of goblins.
Well, is it that they found the goblins, or more so that the goblins came in?
I think the goblins came in, but they found the Balrog.
Yes, they definitely found the Balrog.
I know for a fact because
of the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings.
No, I've seen another Lord of the Rings movie. And that is,
The
of
Hobbit.
course, the first Hobbit movie, which has the singing Goblin King. Is there any relations to the singing Goblin King in these
I mean,
goblins?
probably.
Probably. I did not watch any of those.
Yeah.
You didn't watch The Desolation of Schmoog?
No, I didn't.
Nope.
I sure didn't.
But us jumping to the Mines of Moria, we kind of skipped over all the stuff in like Rivendell.
all the stuff in
like-
Rivendell where it's like where Elrond is there, and like basically all the characters are all of your favorites are there.
Yeah.
and there
Everyone's here.
and Elrond basically lays it all out, just like, look, we gotta destroy this ring.
Yeah, you cannot keep this shit here because we would not be able to take a fucking attack from Isengard and Mordor.
At Rivendell, Gandalf also explains that the reason why he wasn't there to meet the hobbits at the town of Bree.
Oh right, we didn't talk about him getting spun around.
Yeah,
How about I spin you around a little bit? How
He
about
went to
that?
go visit Saruman.
Yeah, thinking they were tight, and Saruman was like, nah.
No, I'm evil. Haha, suck shit.
Like, I
I'm
don't
going
know
to trap you at the top
dumb
of my
baby.
tower.
I don't know what was
idiot.
funnier, him being spun around like that, or like the two of them having the force shove fight, where it's like, in reality, you don't need to use too much mana here. Just knock each other over till one of your old asses breaks a hip, and then you've got the advantage. Like, they are just knocking each other down. Like,
You want to talk about the comedic nature of this movie and how it like toes the line, all that stuff. The point at which like Gandalf first notices that like Saruman is turned, and he like keeps trying to go for exits, and Saruman keeps closing them with his mind, and it does that cut like 4 or 5 times in a row, and I need to see the version of it where it's that for like
just keeps
5
going for-
minutes.
yeah.
It's-
And like, I love that scene where they're having their fucking wizard battle, because the moment because like when Gandalf getting spun around on the floor is like, that's the moment where Saruman is just like, aha, I have fully defeated you, you fucking loser.
Like, that's the thing. Gandalf is spinning on the floor, and Saruman is monologuing at him, like walking towards him as
Like,
he's doing so.
Yeah, he has both of their staves at
Yeah.
the same time, too. And so he's just like, haha, you stupid idiot, I'm gonna be evil.
Yeah.
I am a god, and you are a dreidel.
Yeah, it's just, Saruman has the idea that if he works with the fascists, then they will not destroy
Okay.
him.
Yeah.
So
The
now,
White Uncle Ruckus.
the thing that I want to talk about is like probably the thing that I was most shocked by in watching this movie. I talked to you about it last night, Evie, but like I was shocked at how like it believes so sincerely in the like conflict that is happening in this movie that like achieves a level of like hyper reality like that reflects our own existence back at us, because
It's very political.
well, that was the thing that was so shocking about, like, to have the movie, like, one, opening up with that exposition talking about how, like, things came to pass in this world, and, like, just outwardly stating, like, no, yeah, literally, we are so alienated from where we stand in history, from, like, the history that preceded us, that like that shit just becomes like a fake story to us, like something that may as well not be real. To have it start with that, and then just to have those constant reminders from Gandalf, like every time Frodo bitches about like having gotten the ring, like being like, oh, I wish it weren't like this, and Gandalf had to be like, yeah, I know. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone else either, but you are
Everyone who
living
is in such times believes that. Like,
you are living in history right now.
All we have is what we do at the time that we are in, and one bullet can change the course of the world.
Like it ties back into the thing that Evie was talking about earlier, and that like the bad politics that people that like reactionaries and like take from this movie. But you can very much flip that on its head and be like, no, there are also like very good like political lessons to take from this film as well, where it's like, no, we are all beings living in history at every passing second.
Yes.
Like we ourselves are the history makers.
Yeah.
And it is what we do with that time that we have on this planet that decides what our history looks like to future generations.
And it really drives it home when his memory whispers it sort of in his memory a second time, that same line, where he's basically saying, listen, Frodo, are you going to be a part of the history of the change that you wish to see in the world, or are you going to go on Twitter and bitch about
it? Are you just going to be like Bilbo, take the ring, and like go hide in a mountain for like the rest of your life, you know?
Sit on your pile of money and go got mine, you know, whatever. Yeah. History goes on.
Like, that is the part of this, like, especially when you take this movie in the context of like the political moment that it existed within. Like, this movie came out in 2001 and was coming out along the like U.S. invasion of the Middle East again during that time period, and like, you know, obviously based upon the fact that, you know, that war continued for like another decade and change afterwards. Like, it didn't necessarily impact things, but it's the kind of thing that like there was still mobilization happening in the public around that time period, around like the anti-war movement.
Oh yeah, though the anti-war protests around like Iraq were like the largest that the country had ever seen at the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like not remembered that way because like they were specifically minimized.
Yes, and because there is such a like just vile patriotism that had like poisoned the mainstream public in the U.S.
Yeah, a lot of people had not concerned themselves with the reality of the Middle East until the blowback came here and it was weaponized, you know, in a really racist and fucked up way. A lot of people just weren't thinking about what was going on because of our military action.
My grandma, who at the time was like in her late 60s or early 70s, like was at protests still at that time period, and like literally even got arrested at one of them during like the Iraq war. So like it is fascinating to consider like these movies coming out around that time period, you know.
Yeah, two years before Incubus would release their hit song Megalomaniac. What even was George Bush, man?
I mean, he's just another in a line of, you know, Republican ghouls.
Of rotting puppets, yeah.
Puppeted by Dick Cheney. That's something that's happened since the last time we recorded an episode. Yeah. Dick Cheney died.
Yay! Fuck that guy.
Fuck that dude.
It's a shame that he
did not die sooner.
Yeah.
Happy to put that on the record. I don't give a shit.
Like
we popped the bubbly for this one.
If I get fired for that, you know, there are worse things to get fired over.
I mean, you have
your
told
job
your
seems pretty
coworkers
cool
about the podcast, right?
I don't think I have.
Yeah.
Okay, just don't tell them about it. Yeah. So, yeah, you know, it's... that was great.
But yeah, so that...
She's working for Mordor.
But yeah, that was the most shocking thing for me, is just how much of a political reality that like this movie spoke to.
We're
I
selling
did not
calendars featuring Ben Starr dressed up as an Urukai, just like he's like laying in like on top of a bed of golden rings.
Mary.
There's a flip side to it where you get to see his ass in like a nice thong.
I'm sorry, I was too fixated on that bit. I interrupted you.
You're good. I don't know. I've kind of hit the point where I don't know the direction to take at this point in the conversation, because I think
we doubled back to Rivendell.
Yes, we doubled back to Rivendell.
You see Bilbo shows back up after leaving at the beginning of
He does a really scary like face.
Monster
scary face.
It remind me of Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas, where Fred Flintstone goes, Rock Vegas, eh? And he gets big cartoon eyes on top of his...
I feel like it's more evocative of, what's the lady from Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Oh, Large Marge.
Large Marge. It strikes me as almost a Large Marge type jump scare.
Oh god, I didn't even think
Which,
of that.
like, that's another one of those things that I feel like if that is not directed by, like, post-Dead Alive Peter Jackson, you don't have a moment like that specifically in there.
I think that's right.
Like, it's so fun in those regards.
Yeah, where it's just like, oh, the ring, he doesn't have the ring anymore, but the ring still got him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also during the council sequence where they're talking about Elrond's giving everybody the lowdown.
Yeah.
Boromir is there, and he is like, we could use the weapon of the enemy against them, and all this kind of stuff. It sort of foreshadows, sets up him
Eventually turning.
Yeah, like it
well, almost turning.
yeah, it sort of sets up. Like, he has this notion, and then later it just destroys him. Like, Boromir's whole arc is very sad.
Real Patrick Star, why don't we take the town and move it somewhere else?
I mean, that's the funny thing about the first movie is, like, it almost feels like the whole time they're just trying to avoid having to do the whole trek.
Yeah, having
just
to
because they
engage
know
with history.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, just realizing, like, no, the only way to take care of this thing is you gotta fucking destroy it.
You have to do the thing to take care of it.
You cannot keep it secret, keep it safe. You can't just hide this shit in Rivendell.
You can't just move. You need to buy it.
You cannot
I can't
use
say
it.
this, but
You can't just get the eagles to fly it into a volcano. You can't just give it to Con Bombadil.
Yeah.
You gotta give it to the fucking hobbit. The fucking hobbit's gotta go to the mountain.
you have to take aim and make history. So
That reminds... So... I was looking at other things, and I already forgot about the Lord of the Rings anime movie that just came out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Remember they made a recent new live action series of
They did do that.
Lord of the Rings.
I have to ask, do we get a bump of chicken opening on the anime?
Probably not.
Oh, that's a
no.
shame.
It's a movie, so it probably doesn't even happen.
So
Okay.
the series is specifically a prequel series that is like about how the original Rings of Power were created and disseminated and all this shit. It's pointless. the one thing that they try to do is they try to make the cast racially diverse.
Yeah.
And try to like head that whole thing off at the pass in the material.
Oh, was that the whole, like, Lord of the Rings is woke now argument that the internet
Yeah,
blew
that's
up
the whole
about?
thing that everyone was mad about.
Yeah.
And like, it's good intention, but also it's just like, the work is what it is.
Yeah, like, the people who are going to take nothing but the bad from this are going to take nothing but the bad from this.
That reminds me, I just wanted to note that in the trailer for that anime movie, the eagle scene in this movie is also in that.
But yeah, one of my favorite things about the experience of watching this movie with two people who had never, like, really taken part in this series before was, like, having to explain, like, be like the kind of light lore explainers to them.
Yeah.
Where, like, we had to explain the whole fucking Eagles argument to them.
I don't think we had to explain it. It just came up, and then we had to explain it because...
I vaguely remembered from, like, cultural osmosis the whole, why didn't they just take the fucking bird there? Like, I was like, oh, that's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they missed the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
stupid bullshit.
yeah.
But yeah, so Rivendell, that is where the Fellowship kind of finally forms.
Comes together.
Because, like, literally the whole, like, congregation starts fucking breaking down, and, like, Frodo's pretty sure it's probably because the ring is, like, whispering evils into, like, everyone's ears.
Yo, let me see that
and they like, everyone feels that they need to handle it, like, a different way. Communication is breaking down, and eventually Frodo is just like, no, I'm gonna fucking take it. I'll be the fucking ring bearer. I'll take this shit.
Yeah.
And then that's where you get everyone, the Fellowship, forming up. You have my sword, my arrow, my axe.
The D Club commences.
The other hobbits were hiding in around a corner and listening, and so they're like, we're coming too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and at the end, Pippin is just like, oh, great, are we going?
Yeah.
Like, having not taken in exactly what was happening.
Someone say pizza?
Yeah.
Shit, let's do it.
Oh, man. But yeah, they try taking one route to get to Mordor, but fucking Gandalf and Saruman get into like a mind
wizard
battle.
and Saruman drops a mountain on them, and then he's like, well, I guess we gotta go into the fucking mine.
Well, specifically, Gandalf says, like, listen, Frodo, it's up to you. Do you want to do sushi tonight, or do you want to, like,
of course, meanwhile,
Italian? And fucking Frodo is like, yeah, I think I want to do sushi tonight.
his hobbit friends,
like,
they're sitting back there, just like taking a big stack of bread and a big stack of salami and shuffling it together into a giant sandwich, eating it in one gulp and going,
like,
it's great.
Because that's the thing. Because Gandalf went into the mines with Bilbo 60 years ago, Gandalf is like, there's nothing but fucking bad news down there.
Yeah.
We should not go there. Like, I know this sucks. That's gonna suck more. And Frodo's like, no, I think we should try it.
We should try the mines.
Fuck.
Oh,
You can see him being like, mother... Oh, here we go. It's almost kind of fucked up, too, that he doesn't tell, like, the dwarf what he's about to see.
Yeah.
He's just like, it'll be a surprise. It'll be funny.
Well, I mean, I feel like ostensibly maybe the dwarves were not all dead in The Hobbit. Like,
I think maybe it hadn't gotten quite that bad.
Okay, maybe he didn't know it was a catastrophe.
Yeah. Because I feel like if that were the case, Gandalf should have been like, no,
Buddy,
like, actually, we're
listen.
not gonna go down there. Like,
Yeah.
this is not an option. Fucking nut up.
or it's like, it could be that Gandalf didn't want to have the conversation of, look, all your people are dead, but we should still go through the mines.
Yeah.
It's better than freezing to death in these mountains.
Yeah.
I'm fucking cold up here. I'm old, I'm tired, and I work with fucking hobbits.
Yeah. And there's a moment where Boromir, like, is, he is in contact with the ring for a minute after Frodo drops it.
And Frodo sees that and is like, oh shit.
Just like, oh shit. And like, Aragorn sees it too, and he's like just about to draw down on Boromir.
It is really cool how when someone else picks it up, it changes to their ring size. And I have to imagine one of them looked down at their dick and thought for a minute, like, I wonder, could I...
How good would that feel? It'd probably feel real fucking good.
Check it out, babe. I call this one the ghost. Never see him coming.
Them going down to the mines, that's how we get Project Mellon. Which was
before
the
they're
name
able to
of,
get into the mines, there's like a door
with a riddle on it that just says "Speak, friend, and enter." With the whole thing being like, oh, you're supposed to say friend in Elvish.
Yeah.
And that's how it opens.
There's a very good moment where, like, Gandalf doesn't get that it's a riddle for a minute, and so he's just kind of like, what's the fucking password?
Oh, shit.
Flip
Who
Trick
has
96.
the hyperlink?
42069. 69 420. Oh, I made too many attempts. We need to wait for a minute. God damn it.
And then Frodo's like, it's a riddle! And then they're able to get in.
It's just like, oh, you're so fucking smart, aren't you?
He walks up and says, friend and enter, and it opens up. It's like, motherfucker. Fine. The one kind of Pollyanna moment where I'm like, you know what? No, that's okay. Like, he...
But yeah, so they go into the mines. Pippin accidentally knocks a giant suit of armor down a well, and that's where we get Fool of a Took. And that awakens all the goblins that are in the mines, and, there's a great fight where they have a cave troll and everything.
And like you were talking about, the way that it's, like, choreographed to feel like there is a push and pull and you were saying, like, the navigating around pillars, and, like, it feels like there is war going on and not a Marvel-style style. You punch, I block, you block.
Well,
but you need to navigate in a fight. There's a tactics to it.
Well, I think the way that I would more phrase it is like specifically, it feels like a fight against a giant beast.
Yes.
Like in a not just a giant beast, but giant beast in a tight space.
Yeah, that makes it feel so real.
Yeah,
you know?
like it fucking works in that moment, and they kill the cave troll, they exit out into the giant hall, and they're like they're being bared down upon by like 4 dynasty warriors hordes worth of goblins.
Yeah, hundreds of gerblins coming in to surround them, but then the gerblins run away as the Balrog.
Yeah, they're like, oh fuck this shit, I'm getting out of here.
And Gandalf was like, we gotta fucking run.
Yeah,
we gotta get out of here.
It's they dug too greatly and too deep. Yeah. You know what they awoke in the darkness. It's a fucking Balrog.
It's Shadow and Flame. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
That's the most metal fucking shit you've ever seen. We don't have the Doom guy. We have to run.
Yeah. What were you saying, Bridget?
See, it's a lie that there's dinosaurs under Earth. It's just a big demon, and he Angie.
Yeah, but it's fucking pandemonium
like
down there.
Lands of the Lost.
I got the reference you
or
were doing.
Ice Age 3.
I got the reference you were doing. They're trying to get out of
or Journey to the Center of the Earth.
I got the reference you were doing.
Or Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I got the references that you're doing. They're trying to get to the exit of the mines, and pandemonium is afoot, and Gandalf is finally like, fuck, I gotta stop this goddamn Balrog. You all keep running. Yeah. You shall not pass.
Yeah.
So it's like, you cannot pass, and it's like he tries to pass anyways, like, You shall not pass!
Yeah, that scene is so great because it is very much just like Gandalf showing it, like, you get the impression that, Gandalf's a wizard and he's up to all kinds of shit that we're not privy to.
Yeah.
And
everyone's favorite transgender meme comes to be.
In that moment, he, communicates to them just like, no, y'all as a group don't fucking stand a chance against this thing.
Yeah.
Keep moving. I got this.
Yeah. He doesn't got this. But
unfortunately, the Balrog has a flame whip that he drags him down with.
He just has a giant flame flog whip. It's so good. Just like, now bitch, you coming?
Yeah. And once again, this is a meme moment where you shall not pass
yes.
Always
you shall not pass.
To the point where it's fucked up. I had to see Boss Baby's 2 representation of Gandalf saying, you shall not pass before.
No, let's talk about the thing you actually brought up during the movie, which is the main reason you know about this is because of fucking Lego Dimensions.
He was saved from falling by Batman, apparently.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah, that happens at the start of Lego Dimensions.
Anyways.
So I need to ask, which version did you prefer, artistically speaking?
Well, I need to play more of Lego Dimensions, and Boss Baby 2 fucking sucks.
Anyways, they get out of the mines.
The scene where
I remember
Gandalf
the
dies.
Ralph Bakshi version being good.
For sure. Evie?
Yeah, the scene where Gandalf is one of those things where it's become a meme in the years since.
Oh yeah.
In the moment, it is such a it's a really powerful moment.
It is.
Yeah.
Where 100%. He is just Gandalf is putting it all on the line to kind of
ensure safe passage.
Yeah, and just at the very end where he's like I'm not gonna give them the temptation of coming back to try to help me up, where he's just like, fly you fools, and then he falls.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. It's fucking great. And they get out of the mines, everyone is just devastated.
Yeah.
But from leaving the mines, they go into a forest where suddenly they're accosted by a bunch of elves headed up by Galadriel.
Yeah, these are not the chill elves that Elrond was
a part of.
Yeah, these elves are a little bit more like fuck all y'all.
Yeah, like we're going to let you through, but you cannot stay here.
Yeah, we are going into the West.
Yeah. And, there's... Basically, from the moment they first meet Galadriel, she's speaking directly into their minds, telling them their futures. And it fucks up Frodo, but you can tell it especially fucks up Boromir.
Yeah, he was not ready for this.
Yeah. Because I have to imagine that what she told Boromir was exactly what ends up happening to him. Was just like...
It's like, you're going to get tempted by the ring, you won't be able to stop yourself from trying to take it, and then...
You're gonna fucking die. Yes. And sure enough, after they leave the forest, they're accosted by a bunch of orcs.
Well, before they leave the forest, there's that scene where she talks with Frodo specifically, and Frodo, like, offers her the ring, and
she goes fucking... Oh fuck! What's the name of the dude from Ghostbusters? She goes Slimer mode on.
Well, I mean, really, she goes like the trucker lady from
Large Marge.
Large Marge.
Yeah, she becomes very Gozer the Gozerian.
Yeah,
where she's just like, I will become a queen, beautiful and terrible as the dog.
Yeah,
it reminded me of like the Courage the Cowardly Dog, where like he's fighting with the Loch Ness monster, and they have that moment of, oh Danny boy, the pipes are calling, and he just comes after him, just immediate like face change.
Yeah,
it's such a great and like hilarious like puppet like moment.
It understands like. It takes itself seriously, but it does understand how goofy what it is it's presenting is. Like, it's such a delicate balance that this movie strikes.
Yeah, I think her monologue there is really great, and it sort of impresses on Frodo, oh, I can't just be trying to give this thing away to people.
Yeah, even as pure a... This is a sentence that sucks to say.
I already see where you're going.
As pure a race as the elves are like kind of like
portrayed as
elicited as in the
allegedly.
text of the story, like even they are corrupted by the power of the ring.
Yeah, because like how she's presented seems to be the most like this is someone who clearly is this divine, knows no evil. And it's like nope, like just immediately the minute they see that they're like, yeah, I could be a fucking monster. But like, and that's also kind of like where I draw that parallel to like horniness, where it's just like when you get too like in someone's face about like, yo though, show me that ring though, and then like they're like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? And you're like, oh, I have no chill. Like, no one trusts me anymore. Everyone knows I'm a creep. Oh, fuck.
Not where I expected that part to go.
I really appreciate you developing your own metaphor for what the ring represents.
Listen, it's because I've lived it. It's because I came out and all my friends got weird, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what discovering being a woman is like. Oh, man, like, you can't trust anyone.
But you have that exchange, and then you go into them journeying a little bit further, the Fellowship kind of breaking down as Boromir starts to get corrupted,
and maybe the most important thing that Frodo takes away from that meeting with Galadriel, she sort of like kind of suggests to him that. Like, what's happening to Boromir will happen to all of them as long as they're around the ring.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is like, and so Frodo eventually kind of comes to the conclusion that the only thing that he can do is like take the ring himself and go without the rest of the Fellowship.
Yeah, and
I need to go to the volcano and throw this bitch in myself. Yeah.
And he tries to slink off after they kind of journey on a boat for a little bit, find a spot on the shore to rest. He slinks away, and then the only way the crew notices is they notice that Boromir is also gone. They're like, wait a second.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Boromir's
We can't leave those two alone.
Boromir's totally gonna kill that little guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill that little freak and take the ring for himself.
Which, he almost does, but he does stop himself. He has his, moment of redemption as, the orcs noted, because Frodo, in a panic, throws the ring on.
Yeah.
Obviously, all the orcs are called over to him, because you get that shot of, just zooming up into Mordor, up the fucking tower to see the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah, it's just aha, I see you.
I got you, bitch.
Yeah, but
and all the orcs are bearing down on them.
Yeah, the scene specifically the scene where Boromir is kind of Boromir and Frodo have their kind of confrontation. Boromir is he's doing all the talking pretty much. He basically talks himself into rationalizing that he should take the ring.
Yeah.
And just after Frodo puts the ring on and attacks Boromir to kind of get away from him, just Boromir kind of snaps out of it, and Shamin does such a good job of just, as soon as he's broken of it, he just immediately feels so much shame for what happens. Where it is just he's crying and kind of breaking down.
Yeah.
Where it is just Boromir did not have the juice.
Yeah. You understand how he reaches the end of that scene basically being no, don't even bother trying to save me, just let me fucking die here.
I need to own up to that.
Yeah. Where he would rather die than live with the shame of what he tried to do.
Yeah. Which even that is handled with such an earnestness that is very impressive to me in a piece of pop cinema like this. The way that that someone would betray their morals in such a way that they literally cannot live with themselves. For something seemingly as simple as just taking a ring from someone.
Yeah, and it's the tragedy of it is he there's a real from a certain perspective he could not have helped himself. He is merely a man in the face of a power that is so terrible, and the only sin he's committed is being human.
Yeah.
And
the closest everyone's gotten to destroying this, everyone is corrupted by this power, but still the arrogance of man is, well, I'm built different.
Yeah, it's just it happened before, but this time it won't happen.
No, just trust me, bro. I got
this time. The next one will surely be the good person, not corrupted by the power of the ring.
And so, Boromir gets.
I'm
gets
going
through
to
this.
move to the one place that has not been ruined by the ring.
Spice.
So Frodo has this confrontation with Boromir, and then he runs into Aragorn kind of as he's trying to escape. And Aragorn has this moment where he's tempted by the ring, and he is so
good. Where he sees it in Frodo's hands, and he starts to reach for it, and then he just cups Frodo's hands back up no, put that shit away.
Where Aragorn knows that Frodo's about to just go off by himself.
Yeah.
And Frodo asks him, hey, would you have hung with me the entire time? And Aragorn's yeah, I would have.
Mm-hmm. you seem chill. I would have hung with you.
I would have hung with you. I wouldn't have tried to kill you and take the ring. Which probably not true, but but that's the wisdom in doing what Frodo's doing, is not giving anyone the opportunity to be corrupted by it.
Yeah.
Except for when Samwise manages to sneak onto the boat with him, because Gandalf got it in his brain of no, do not leave that dude alone.
He's gonna want to go alone. Don't let him go alone.
Yeah. You're gonna be homies with him till the end.
Yeah. Even if bearing this ring truly is the true loneliness epidemic.
the ring is horniness all along.
I'm saying. I see how you can get the bad read from that same thing, too.
But yeah, like, so the other two hobbits are kind of like, as Frodo's kind of just slink away, the other two hobbits, Pippin and Merry, like, kind of...
They generally just get kind of like lost in the fray, right?
They have that moment where they run into Frodo and like they kind of draw the orcs away from him.
Right.
And that's how they get into the position where like Boromir has to kind of defend them.
Right. But like after Boromir gets it, we don't really see what happens.
Yeah, they get carried away by the orcs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that's like the one piece of action that I did not fully catch in the moment was those two getting carried away.
Yeah, they're getting carried away by the orcs, presumably to Isengard.
Yeah. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Yeah, they're taking the hobbits to Isengard. But yeah, a big badass Uruk-hai orc shows up to kind of... Lurtz shows up, and he's the one who ends up killing Boromir.
With massive arrows.
Massive
fucking
arrows.
Like, to the point that, like, I knew that Boromir died in that scene. I forgot he gets it that bad.
Yeah, he gets really fucked up by those arrows.
He gets shot by the arrows that the fucking Silver Knights are hitting you with in Anor Londo and Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Getting speared that hard would physiologically stop your muscles from being able to do anything, but I went along for the ride and I enjoyed and felt him pushing through that.
Yeah, Bridget even made the reference to Anor Londo while we were watching it, but she's brought a dog back.
Yeah, sorry, Bridget. While you were gone, I stole your Anor Londo joke about about Boromir getting riddled by arrows.
Oh.
Riddle me this.
I do remember you accidentally calling scaffolding when you were making that joke.
This dog was being a bark eater.
Aww. Davey.
Hey, Poppy. But yeah, before Lurtz has the ability to completely finish off Boromir, Aragorn shows up and fucking kicks his ass. It's so great.
Well, it's specifically insane because first he just kind of like runs him through with the sword, and then Lurtz does like the thing of like he grabs the blade and pulls himself further in on it. He's like,
not even really to try to strike back at Aragorn. He just kind of does it.
Yeah, and Aragorn is like, oh
that's fucked up.
I need to kill this guy
crazy.
now.
Yeah. Hurt me more.
Yeah, so he pulls the sword out and just clean chops off his head.
Oh man.
That's like kind of the amazing thing about the violence in this movie that I forgot is like this movie is shockingly violent for like a PG-13.
You got some rolling heads. Like it's
motherfuckers getting arms cleaved off and shit. Old men getting like thrown around and slammed into walls.
Gatekeepers getting pancaked by a dump truck. You know, like,
Tiny Dinky Daffy, pancaked by drunk dump truck driver.
But yeah, so Aragorn like kind of sees off.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Aragorn kind of sees off Boromir, who's dying, and like there's a really good kind of exchange between the two of them, where like Boromir has like this moment as he's dying where he just like completely gets into despair, where he's like, yeah, it's over, like it's so joke.
Red
Gondor's lost.
Yeah, Sauron's gonna get the ring back. It's like we're fucked, and
Aragorn has to be like, stop being fucking pessimistic. Like we're gonna do this. It's gonna be okay. And
stop being a beta cuck.
and again, like here's a place where like the sort of reactionary reading of the thing kind of comes in, where like it's Aragorn being like, oh no, I'll make sure this doesn't happen to our people.
Yes.
And that's what kind of gets Boromir like believing that he's like that Aragorn is serious about like his responsibility as like, you know, the heir to the
Aragorn will be the Ubermensch.
Yeah. But really it is you know, Aragorn is being serious about like, no, I take my responsibility as like the heir of this guy who fucked up real bad, and
the heir of the person who basically, like, in the eyes of, like, the rest of the races out there in the world, basically brought shame to humanity as a whole. Like, I am going to help redeem us in their eyes.
Yeah.
Because sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like, there's a moment in Rivendell where, like, Elrond is just like, no, fucking humanity is, like, on the decline. Like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing out there. And, like, Aragorn is, like, the one person who, like, seemingly is, like, trying to be up to the task of being like, no, we can do something good with ourselves out there.
I will say, all of the world's races being white is some real Lake Oswego shit. Like, where are we shooting this?
Well, I mean, again, going back to what Evie was talking about, it's a very British movie.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's Tolkien.
Yeah.
And like he. And part of it is just like where he talks about like the blood of Numenor, if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's bloodline shit. Like where Aragorn is like one of the last of like who still kind of has that blood in him, and which is kind of part of why he is as
trepidatious about like the whole thing.
Well, he's not less than trepidatious and more like it's why he is so good, basically.
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
And so, like, the fact that they don't impress that part so much in the movie is to its credit.
Yeah.
Because, again, that's, like...
Bloodline shit,
race science, like...
Yeah.
All that shit can go in the garbage.
Yeah. Fuck.
But, yeah, there's a really...
the Skywalker line.
Oh, God, don't go
That's a whole different series of films I'm sure we will get into at some point or another.
I don't know about that one. We'll see where it takes us. Anyway, Boromir dies. He has a really great line where he calls Aragorn his king and all this kind of stuff. It's great. And then like as our protagonists kind of wrap things up, Sam and Frodo are heading down the river on their own. Mm-hmm. Pippin and Merry have been carried off to Isengard. Mm-hmm. And so, like, the three remaining members of the Fellowship are kind of standing around just like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Now what happened?
And they're like, I mean, I guess we should probably go rescue Merry and Pippin.
Well, it's a little bit more like Gimli is... Like
Gimli wants to fight.
Yeah, well, where Gimli is like, well, we're fucked. The rig's gone. People are dead. The hobbits.
It was all for naught.
Yeah. It was all for naught. And then like, and Aragorn is the one who kind of pulls them together. Where it's just like, hey, as long as we stay tight,
stay true to each other.
Yeah, and then like it's not over. And so he suggests that they go rescue Pippin and Merry.
The Lord of the Rings, we are so back.
That's right. And he says, let's go hunt some more, and that gets Gimli back up. He's just like, yeah! And then that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. What a good fucking movie.
The movie fucking rules. It's great.
Like, I guess, final thoughts, Evie, final thoughts.
The movie fucking rules. It's great. Great movie. Fuck all the reactionaries who claim it as their own.
Yeah.
Sam and Frodo are gay.
Yep.
Legolas and Gimli are gay.
Mm-hmm.
Aragorn is straight, but he's chill.
He's an ally.
Yeah, he's an
ally. Bridget, what are your final thoughts on this as the person who's probably been the most quiet during this conversation?
Get back to me. The dogs are gonna bark. Someone's at the door.
For sure. Well, I guess I could talk about my final thoughts, which is just like, for me, I was worried going into this movie because when I first watched these, like, as a kid, I remember liking the second and third one, but, like, the first one was a tough onboarding for me just because you're young, you're dumb, you probably don't have the attention span that you need for something that is
I feel that.
for something that is that long and is that, like, kind of leisurely with its pacing at first blush.
Especially when it opens up with so much lore to not then open up into action. When you're a kid, you're like, oh my god, I'll just go home and read a book.
Well, I mean, the other part that ends up making it difficult, especially, like, as a kid approaching this movie, is, like, if you're looking at that movie as just, like, a singular story and not part of, like, a whole, like, you get to the end of that movie and you kind of feel like Gimli at the end, where it's just like, what the fuck was all this for?
Yeah.
Like, this is all for naught. What's the point of this?
Yeah.
But, like, now, being older, having the knowledge of the other movies, and just having the patience to enjoy its pacing, like, this movie is fucking great. Like, I really hope the rest of them hold up as well as the others, but, like, even if they don't, the experience of watching this movie was so fun that, like, I loved every second of it, basically.
Yeah, I similarly echo that idea of, like, I think seeing this with, like, a broader mind at a later age, I see this and I'm like, no, yeah, this... I could not have appreciated this as a kid, even if I had, like, really hooked in. I mean, by the fact that I had too much ADHD to watch it as a younger adult, like in my early 20s, and I still kind of checked out, like, that, for me, tells me, like, I'm definitely appreciating this in a way that I couldn't have prior.
Yeah.
So that does help.
Bridget, final thoughts.
I can't see you, Jay. Okay.
You got two angles to go off of. I'm either here or I'm over there.
Well, I'm focusing on the one where I'm, like, at the table, but... Yeah, I thought it was a neat movie. I don't know if I stated explicitly.
Sorry, I'm distracted by our camera angle now.
It is, yeah, like, our camera angle is very much
Look who decided to come out of their
Yeah,
cave!
exactly. Oh,
sorry. Continue your thoughts, sweetie.
Look who came out of their hobbit
don't
hole!
distract her like that.
Go ahead.
I can't stop thinking about it
I've
now.
had a weird history of this franchise. The first thing I ever saw of it was the Ralph Bakshi adaptation, and then I saw the first Hobbit movie, and then I guess I played some of Shadows of Mordor.
I mean, that may as well be, like, a completely different thing,
Yeah.
honestly.
Weird fan fiction.
I don't know where the anime movie is in the timeline.
It is hundreds of years before the beginning of the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
All right. And Bree, was that basically your final thoughts, or did you have more you wanted to say?
I mean, I basically echo what Evie said. God damn, this is a good movie. And if y'all heard
I know Evie already said it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you ended up enjoying this movie.
I am too.
I did give you a dispensation, so if you didn't want to watch it, you didn't have to.
Yeah, but I brought it upon myself to go, you know what, we're gonna have to rank these at the end of the season, and, like, I am about to, like, decide what we watch next, and honestly, like, getting to enjoy this movie means I'm going to be less vindictive about what I pick. So, like, you know, this all kind of comes together into, this was a great experience, and I'm glad that I took part in it, and basically all the points that I've already hit on, like, were really a big deal for me. That being the case, though, we do now need to pick what the next film is going to be.
You're the chooser.
And I noticed
Choosler.
that Christopher Boyes from the sound department of this film is listed as additional crew in a little film called Jumanji. We didn't do that. Mark Graham from the music department, as well as Joe Zimmerman, was listed as crew, extra additional crew on the Powerpuff Girls movie. But I didn't go with that one either, because you see here, Jonas Thaler, post-production supervisor on Fellowship of the Rings, also was on Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah, let's go!
That's what I would say.
Let's fucking
If Hugo Weaving, who played Elrond, wasn't also Agent Smith in Matrix Reloaded.
Wait, really?
No. Girls,
Damn it.
I have to admit, podcast missing a week or so, I missed the perfect window for a very particular flick, and I am not quite done with the vibes of spooky season. I really did want to pick each and every one of those very much so, but I'll have to do it another time, because if I'm going to bitch about a vampire movie, as I did with the one prior to this, I need to pick one of my own. Matthew Cooper was additional crew in this film and was also location management in a little film called Jennifer's Body.
Oh, fuck yeah!
Right,
Let's
yeah.
go!
Right.
That's a movie that all of us have seen and like.
I actually have not seen Jennifer.
Wait, you've never?
Oh, it's so gay.
Yes! Let's go! We're so back! We were already back with Lord of the Rings, but
Yeah.
now we're really back.
But yeah.
What was that? What did you say, sweetie?
You enjoyed that. We've been back. What are you talking about?
You can find me, Bree, on...
Monogatari was a little bit difficult.
It was rough.
It was slightly contentious.
Yeah.
As much as that movie had stuff that I liked about it, there was
Yeah.
also I had problems with it.
Yeah. Same here.
Anyway, hire me to draw fantasy, technological, or any kind of hardcore pornography over on vgen.co/asnesbo, ASNESBO. You can also find me streaming over on Twitch with my VTuber over on Easy Breezy TV. Where are y'all on? What are you doing?
Bridget, you first. Where can people find you on the internet?
People can find the YouTube archive with the pornography censored. And if you want to watch me live playing Sonic the Fudgehog or Shrek or whatever, that's a Viva Pinata joke, because there are fudgehogs in Viva Pinatas.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Continue.
railroad classic. You can find me at twitch.tv/Sasquatchulous. And I'm going to guess this podcast still comes out before my Private Eyes podcast on The Greatest Movie Ever, which do not watch that movie. Do not watch Private Eyes. I will put that out there.
You didn't put it to record. How did you feel about this movie versus The Private Eyes?
This movie
Starring Don Knotts
and Tim Conway.
and Tim Conway.
I feel like Lord of the Rings, at minimum, is at least 20 times better than the Private Eyes.
You know, that sounds like it's saying a lot, but 20 times 0.001 is not a big number.
Alternate universe where Don Knotts was cast as Gandalf in Lord of the Rings.
You shall not pass!
I mean, there was an There's an alternate universe where this podcast starred Zoe instead of Bree.
There is so things happened that delayed the last recording that was supposed to have Zoe from the internet on here. However, I'm sad that we missed Zoe, but I'm also happy that it got delayed because that left the window open for Bree to change her mind about watching the movie.
We got the good ending in this timeline for once.
I mean,
It's nice.
the ending with Zoe is also a good ending.
No, it would have been, but I'm
just
saying,
different.
like, the fact that I could engage with this, at least for me, was a positive.
Sure. Anyways.
We should do an episode with the guests soon.
We should. And I think that Zoe, being a podcaster as well, would be
Maybe I
perfect.
asked Zoe if they want to be on Jennifer's Body. That seems like what
I mean,
might
who
be up
doesn't?
there.
No, but yeah, absolutely. We,
Anyways, Evie, could people find you on the internet?
Nope.
Great. People can find me on the internet, however, I'm not going to tell them where. They can find the podcast, put it on the list.neocities.org, put it on the list.bscott.social, Wife City Productions on youtube.com. You can find us anywhere major podcasts are sold. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, share us with your friends. Tell people about it.
tell us what we got wrong. Get mad at us. Engage.
Yeah,
Tell us
sure.
why we should have watched
dislike.
the extended edition and that we're plebs
Yeah, yell at
for-
us about how we should have watched the extended edition, and we will promptly ignore the shit out of you and
Unless you comment really, really hard. Keep trying. Keep putting words in
unless
there.
you use the key phrase Gollum breeding pits now.
Then we'll know that you listened. But yeah,
enter the code word Bidu Mima down below this episode, and we will respond wholeheartedly to you. Anyways,
you
that's
may
an
think
episode.
that I am a fair elf of great power and wisdom, but I am actually Bidu
I'm actually
Mima.
Bidu Meemaw.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
What we've used connected by cast or crew, deciding the next film, that's the gist. Put it on the list.
Gollum breeding pits now.